Yeah, that was in a strange part of Kent too, because the directions took me. It sounded like I was going to go down by where the college was, but I kind of went past downtown and went out toward like the woods area almost. And like if you go by it, like make sure you're really slow when you're on the road because you'll almost miss it.
What was it called?
Black Iron Grill.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Because it's like there's a business that's in front of it, which is like an excavating business, and like it's behind that. You go back there and dude, man, I pulled up, like all these spots were empty. I'm like, fuck, this better be the entrance because I'm parking right here.
No one was fucking there.
Yeah.
Dude, Ethereum got hacked today.
Did they?
They stole $11 million from a company.
Whoops.
Dropped it 4% in like an instant, and it's almost all the way back up already.
Jeez.
I like that.
Went from $4,200 down to $36, and now it's back up to $4.
That's crazy, man. Yikes.
I was like, ooh, hope they didn't take my shit.
Say that shit's not back, man. That's the thing. That shit happens. There ain't no FDIC insurance.
Oh, I wish I was smart enough to be. I see guys posting stuff like, you'll never guess who helped me get financially independent. Just click on this link below and talk to, and then they like tag some guy. It'll be like Chris Kessinger. And then I'm like, you're going to click that and it's going to take you to a fucking website that's like stealmybitcoin.com.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I ain't touching that shit.
Watch what you click.
People are stupid, man. That's how you get viruses and shit.
Yep.
You ready?
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
Now I can.
He's got these voices in his head.
This guy's got the new look going on.
I'm cool. I'll just rock them on my head. Thanks.
All right. I sent notes. Anything else you guys wanted to add? I think that was.
I'm just going to add a quick note of that Golden Globes thing. It's going to be a quick mention.
Yep. I had that in my copy. Like I had copied it to send to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw you post it and I was like, okay.
I'll do a quick little draft recap too for sports.
Okay.
I do have my miscastings. I have 6 of them.
Do what?
The question you asked as far as like,
oh, cool.
People who were cast who ruined the movie.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I got to think about that as we go. I was thinking about it on the way home, but I hadn't had a chance to look it up.
It was more, I was originally just going to just throw it out there, but I put it in there so I didn't forget to ask. So
That's a good question. You're going to be pissed at one of my answers, but
I mean, I think there's probably some really good. There's probably a lot, honestly. There potentially. So.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. Highlights of the news: traffic accident. A Beaver County man being held for murder. More later.
What's going on, y'all? You're tuning in to the highest rated, most listened to podcast to ever grace the airwaves, and you're a better person for listening to us. All right, maybe not, but you're really going to enjoy it anyways. This is Made to Motivate podcast, and we'll be talking social media hot topics, pop culture news, the greatest in movies and music, and all things sports. Make sure you're following us on social media at Made to Motivate podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and you can watch the show on our YouTube. Thanks for tuning in, and with that being said, let's get this show started. Made to Motivate. We're back. We're back in business. We took a week off. We had a busy week last week, so
Yeah, we did.
we are back though. Made to Motivate podcast, season 4, episode
17.
Episode 17. This is your host Ryan Weiss. I am joined as always by Jesse Unk from Sports Illustrated.
What's going on?
How's it going, sir?
It's going fantastic.
Good. Christopher, the film freak Kessinger.
Hold on, let's do that again. Can you say my name again? We'll do like a full house credit roll.
Christopher, the film freak Kessinger. Hey, you got something on your shirt, bud.
Yeah, it's nipple milk.
Oh,
Nipple milk?
Were you on Zoom? Someone licking your nipple?
Were you in a New York City school?
I was.
Segue. That's a little early for that. What's going on, guys? What's new and exciting since we've seen each other since 2 weeks ago. But
them fucking Suns laid it down, baby.
Yeah, what's new since the last show? What's going on with you, Jesse?
Trying to think of what we knew that we were having a girl, right? That was 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yep.
Went to the draft. That was fun. Got up there with my dad. They told us whenever we got our tickets that we would have seats. We did not have seats. So then we had to go and mess with the security guy and like beg him to let us have these purple wristbands. And eventually he gave us some. So we got to go in and sit underneath the pavilion and all that. That was cool.
How many seats would you say in total under the pavilion? Just kind of like an estimate.
I think that they had about, trying to think who all was sitting there. I'd say about 18 per team.
Jeez, man.
It was a lot of
Scarce.
space under there though. But yeah, it wasn't like a ton of stuff. Now the Browns section was a little bit bigger, just probably because they knew they would have a
Hometown.
ton of Cleveland fans there.
Yeah.
And the Steelers one was pretty big as well.
Yeah.
But when we originally sat with the Patriots fans, we sat with about 12 people. So maybe it was like 14. I don't know exactly. Somewhere around there, 10 to 14 people. And then as more fans showed up, like a Patriots fan showed up. And so they were like, yeah, you guys got to get the fuck out of the section. So but you didn't get kicked out of the pavilion. They just found you another empty spot. So then we got split up. I ended up with your Cowboys.
Yeah.
And my dad ended up with the Rams.
I hate our fans.
Your fans were fucking lame, man. There were two Browns fans that sat behind me. And then there was one guy that looked like Jimmy Johnson, but I don't think he was going for Jimmy Johnson. Like, I don't think he was like a fan. I think he was just like an asshole who's like, oh yeah, I'm Jimmy. I sell cars and T-bone steaks.
Don't forget Viagra.
And then there was a guy with like a big, huge 10-gallon hat that sat next to me who seemed cool, but he didn't talk to me at all. He's just like annoyed that I was there. And I was like, you know what? This is why I hate Cowboy fans.
I hate our fans. Yeah.
Fucking awful.
They're the worst.
They're not the worst. I was surprised though. New England fans are usually terrible. And being a Brady fan, like, pains me to say, but they didn't deserve him, you know? They were super nice, like the nicest people we sat with all night.
That's because they're humbled now.
I think it is. Because they're all like, you know, we really think you guys are doing great. And I'm like, yeah. I go, what do you guys think you're gonna do later? They're like, oh man, we're just hoping we can, you know, rebound this year with a off season, good draft. And I was like, you sound like me. Fucking losers.
Yeah, welcome to the bottom.
Other than that though, birthday, my wife, her birthday, Mother's Day. That was fun. We didn't
do
Mother's Day stuff we had to put off until next week because we're doing couples massage and it was just packed on Mother's Day. But we went to that Alien Vacation mini golf.
Oh, cool.
Out in Medina. She really wanted to go, so we went out there.
What do you think?
It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's really the most creative course.
You've never been to?
I'd never been there before.
Oh,
and I'd seen pictures, but I didn't know it came with like the 3D glasses. So I'd gone to a horror haunted house one time with the same vibe, like the 3D glasses and all that stuff, and it was fucking awesome. So when that was there, I was like instantly pumped. I feel like I could beat anybody in the mini golf tournament there.
Wow.
Like, not necessarily because I'm good, but it's just so disorienting. Nobody could be good there. Just naturally, like, I'm really, really good.
Winter Warfare next year.
Yeah.
So
is that where you guys did it?
Well, we did the final round there. But next year I'm doing the whole thing there.
It plays so much smoother on carpet than it does on that fake grass.
You're saying
too.
you could beat anybody?
Not saying I would. I'm just saying I have a chance against anybody.
Okay, I gotcha.
Like on a regular course, I'm not going to beat Chris.
Yeah.
Going over there wearing those glasses, I think I have a shot.
Did you actually play with the glasses on?
Yeah, the whole time.
That's tough.
I give you credit for that because I played
sucked
there
with the mask.
Well, I played there.
Oh God, yeah, that's
with the I don't know if we had masks on, but I couldn't do the glasses because like you got to think when you go to look, like they kept trying to slide down my face, like they kept trying to fall off.
Do you regularly wear glasses though? Ever?
No, I don't have to wear glasses.
Yeah, I wear glasses. You know, pretty much all the time if I'm not wearing my contacts, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I put them on to like look around and like take everything in, but like when I was hitting,
they have like all these patterns on the floor for the depth perception and all that, which I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But there were times where I lost my ball because there's one pattern that's just like a bunch of lines that come out with little round like circles on the end, but they're the color of the fucking balls. So if you happen to hit the ball and it lands on it, it's gone. You're never going to find it.
The Freak Show Carnival. It was like hole 2.
Yes.
Yeah, like you can barely see where your ball goes.
Yeah, and then there's another one on the like Glacier Antarctica looking thing.
Cool. Yeah,
that one has a bunch of holes on the bottom too. Little round circles all over the floor. But it was really impressive, and the staff there was like so nice.
Yeah,
it's pricey, but I think it's kind of worth it with all the detail that goes into it.
Yeah,
it's dope. Yeah. Did you hit the light up thing at the end of the tunnel?
The light up thing.
So there's the one hole where you hit it straight on. You're like in a tunnel. And it's just a really simple straight on hit.
Oh yeah.
And at the end, it's the big window.
Yeah.
What was in there?
You didn't hit it?
No, we did, but I think they changed it out.
Oh, it was like an alien from
yeah.
Okay.
One of the movies.
Some Galaxy, not Galaxy Quest, but something like that.
Something in space. Boston space.
I had no idea what was there though. And Steph's like, she was like, hit that button. I hit it and it jumps up and she was like, fuck, what the fuck is that?
Well, I remember you, Chris, I remember you saying that you thought it looked different or you don't remember that. So I'm wondering if they switched the characters out because there's a door there. So I'm wondering if they can like swap out like what it is.
I'm sure that they do occasionally.
They did from the
It's
first
dope,
year
though.
we were there. Yeah, it was something different. It wasn't an alien.
They put like a
They had like the
Freddy
Men in
Krueger
Black
sticker.
stuff inside the bar too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys get the drink coupon thing or whatever?
We did, and I don't think anybody used it.
Does it count for beer?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because we got in there because I couldn't hear what she said.
Mhm.
Like I thought she was asking if we wanted a ticket just to be able to go to the bar.
Yeah.
Not that I was actually purchasing a drink already.
You purchased
Like, I thought with,
you
like, COVID
purchased
or
a free
something.
drink, you realize.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like $2, which isn't that bad. But
But they pawn it off as a free drink. They're
I
like,
know.
Yeah.
want a free drink coupon? I'm like, well, is the coupon free?
right.
They got to pay for it. Well, then the drink's not free.
Right.
Your game is $20.
But I didn't know that was it. So I went in there and they're just like, do you have your ticket? And I'm like, yeah. Like, and I'm thinking, I'm just like fumbling around. I'm like, I don't really want a drink. And then they're just like, okay, what do you want? And I'm like, I'll have a Pepsi. And then I saw all the beer and I'm like, fuck, I wonder if I could have got free beer out of that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, usually
Get like a
promotions like,
slushy
that.
or like a soft drink or something. 'Cause
Yeah.
They had ices, I think, too, right?
They
Yep.
did. Steph got a blue one.
Yeah.
And then there was like a little sign that said like, ask about your alien flavor. I was like, you should have asked. She's like, it's just lemon lime. It says right here. It's alien lemon lime.
Read by
Alien-
Janine Garofalo.
Alien urine. That's cool.
But yeah, so that's what we did.
Yeah, it's a dope course.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It's right by the that's also right by the high voltage go-karts, which we need to go to because they're
Yeah.
so dope.
What
And
is
they've
that? Just
got
like super fast go.
they're electric indoor. Well, they're indoor and outdoor. So they have an extension for when it's nice outside. So you're all inside and then you go outside and come back in.
Yeah.
But dude, they're fat. Like you have to wear neck braces, full
Ooh.
helmets.
Oh fuck.
Like they are dope.
I don't
And
know if
then
I
it's
want to do that.
it's connected to
I want high voltage bumper cars.
I know,
well,
right?
they've got the bumpers and stuff on them, but dude, people like spin out and crap. It's dope. It's
Huh.
super dope. But they added on something that's called like the Foundry, and it's an arcade and bar, like brewery or something.
Oh, that's
So
dope.
it's all like one building. It's really cool.
I have a friend that went there not too long ago, and I saw her pictures. It looked pretty fun.
It's a really good time.
Yeah.
Cool. Christopher,
Short and sweet. I am on vacation this week, and it is beautiful.
that's it.
And then-
Nothing fun and exciting.
And then the movie gods blessed me with 7 fucking movies this week.
Yikes.
Thanks, 2020.
And the Mother Nature gave you sleet and cold and
Oh yeah, I know.
rain.
Bullshit.
It is beautiful though.
That game was tough that we played on Saturday. Well, Ryan played on Saturday.
Awful.
We were out there, and probably 5 holes in, we were freezing.
Yeah, it's
one hole. I was freezing before the freaking game even started,
Mhm.
waiting for Matt to show up.
is that why you lost by 10 strokes?
Are you done, Chris?
I was just asking. 12 strokes?
You done?
A dozen strokes? And you're talking about D League?
I'm done. I will hand it over to you.
First of all, was it 12 strokes?
It was
102,
104. You had 104 and he had 92.
Jeez.
Damn. No, I shit the bed. I mean, no excuse. I shit the. I played with you and I did freaking almost 10 strokes better.
Yeah.
I played
Yeah.
awful.
That weather gets you.
The weather was
What
bad.
got you? Which hole? Was it the same typical holes you just didn't learn? Or
Well, yeah, one hole I got a 6 on, which
Yeah.
there was no excuse for.
You
Yeah.
did good on the hump hole though.
The hump hole I got a 3.
Mhm.
The one with the discs on the ground that we like freaking went out of the course
Mhm.
on. I got a 3 on that.
like the bumpy rock one?
I got
You got a
si-
3 on that?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was one hole I really fucked up on and I got a 6. Then the one hole
Was
where
it the long one where you have to hit it and then drop down?
no, that one I think I got a 4 or something on the penis hole.
Yeah, the penis
The
hole.
one hole that's really, really long and there's the rock bridge that goes across it. I kept hitting the freaking little bridge
Don't remember
and it
that.
kept coming back and that fucked me. I played bad.
Yeah.
It was cold. The course was wet. So you got to read the ball differently. I'm not used to playing on a wet course. I don't know how much more tenured those guys are. They're more tenured than me. I know that.
Matt by 1 year. Ryan is the same as you. You guys had the same rookie year.
Last year,
Yeah.
yeah, he did good. I mean, they both played well. There's no excuse. I went in though thinking, no question, I'm winning.
Yeah.
So then I started getting really frustrated because I kept little mistakes. Like I kept fucking up really dumb shit. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is annoying. And then I just like shut down. I missed the fucking guaranteed hole in one cannon shot.
Yeah.
The fucking water.
You were
like,
the only
wow,
one.
all pulled off.
What a
the-
shame. You missed it last time against me too. It just worked out for you. You fucking suck.
Um,
I should have won that game.
so yeah, that screwed me. But I played that mini golf. We went to me, Chris, and my little brother and
Oh, yeah.
Holden. We all went and played at Birdie Shack.
God, I forgot.
Oh, was that
about
this last weekend?
That was like the weekend before.
Yeah, so we went and played there. We went to the Cavs game.
Mhm.
I was supposed to have a big cookout, so I'm so salty. I freaking went out and bought a grill. I've got a charcoal grill,
Yeah.
but
it's
I
the
wanted
best.
It is, but I wanted a propane because when there's more people, it's just easier than trying to do a charcoal.
Yeah.
So I went out and bought a brand new grill. I got a dope metal like fire pit. Got all this stuff. Got a ton of food to do a Mother's Day cookout, and then fucking weather was awful. I'm like, I'm not even gonna try. We postponed it. People would have been miserable.
You can just use that stuff for us.
We can. Yeah, I mean, I still have all the food, but
Podcast cookout.
But I was just like, fuck, man.
Yeah. I can save my money.
I got a 3-day weekend this weekend, so maybe we have to do a cookout.
I have a 3-month weekend coming up.
Yeah, I was thinking about that actually the other day. I'm like, God, Jesse, that's a great job to have during this time of the year.
Oh man, it's fucking shitty right now.
But outside of that, I mean, we went to the Cavs game. That was dope to get out and actually do something fun. Had some hot dogs.
I love the whole fact there wasn't a lot of people there, but also just how perfect everything worked for us.
Yeah.
You know, like the bathroom, the concession stand, the parking space was right there.
Yeah.
We were in and out of there
Quick.
I mean, after the game was over, what do you think? It took us 15 minutes to get out of the city?
I don't think it was
not even.
Yeah, I thought maybe like 10 or 12, you know, and the garage was the most part.
Right. Yeah, it was dope. Outside of that, I mean, I feel like we did a lot of stuff, but that's really it as far as stuff going on. I didn't have a Made to Motivate planned, and it's not really a Made to Motivate, but this is crazy. And I'm going to toot my own parents' horn for a minute because, so I didn't know anything about this until today. My little brother apparently knew, and he had been talking with my dad, and my dad and my stepmom, they're both very giving. Like that's probably where I get a lot of my like wanting to give back and do good and stuff from. Like they've worked very hard. They've done well for themselves. They're financially stable. They have the means that they can donate and give back and stuff. And they always used to do a ton with St. Jude's Hospital. They do a lot of donating to them. They do a lot of cool stuff. But my mom's birthday is in 2 weeks. And my dad bought her today, cash, a brand new Jeep Renegade. This is his ex-wife. Not even married.
Oh, wait.
My dad bought my mom.
Oh.
They're not married. My dad's remarried.
I misconstrued that.
Him and my stepmom bought her for her birthday a brand new 2021 Jeep Renegade.
Jeez.
I'm like, I was just like, what the fuck?
Is there any chance they're getting back together?
No. So I don't know if I think I've talked about it on here before, like the relationship between my parents and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was not always that way. Like my mom used to be married, like she remarried as well. And when she was remarried and my dad and my stepmom first got married, like it wasn't super kosher. But then it got to a point with the like holidays and stuff where it was like, it wasn't enjoyable anymore. Like it was always like, okay, I've got to go to my mom's. I've got to go to my dad's. If I'm dating somebody, I got to make time to go to like their families. Like it was so much stress anytime there was a holiday or anything going on. Eventually we were just like, look, you're both adults. Let's just figure this out. Bury the hatchet. Like you guys have been divorced for a while now. Like whatever, you know? So we started doing all holidays together.
God, isn't that great?
Everything.
Jesus.
Birthdays, Mother's Day,
Mature
Father's
parents.
Day.
What concept?
Like, yeah, it was amazing. We've always gone to my dad's. He always is the host at his house. My mom would come. No big deal. My mom and my stepmom are like, have become extremely close. Like they're good friends. So the relationship is awesome. But I was just like, that's just one of those things where it's like, people don't have that relationship when they've separated. And then the relationship that they've kindled and to do something like that, I was just like, wow, you know, like that, to me, that was just really cool. I didn't know about it. My little brother knew because my dad was talking to him about like ideas of like what to get her. My brother was a service manager for Fred Martin. So he knows a lot about cars and things like that. So he was kind of like, well, this would be a good vehicle or whatever. And then my mom just texted me pictures of it. And I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
I mean, to be fair, if I lived next to Myles Garrett, I'd be happy and giving all the time too.
This is true. They do a lot of good, but I just thought that was really cool. I was like, dang, man, happy birthday. So
that was pretty.
That's my Made to Motivate. Give back when you can, even in somewhat unusual circumstances.
I need a new truck. I'll marry your dad.
Hey, he's a good dude. And anyways, I'm not going down that road.
Oh, not gonna?
No. Where do we want to start? What are we excited about? Chris, you always pull the curtain.
I always
let's do.
I'm no longer Chris Jericho.
Let's get social.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes.
That ended like real quick, I felt like. Does it always just cut off like that at the end?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're supposed to say now.
I know. Whoops. I wasn't paying attention. Let's get social. Nothing too exciting. I mean, that's pretty standard right now. I feel like with everything going on, there's not much other than the same shit over and over again, but
It's getting better though.
So this week, a couple days ago, I believe, I put up a poll on the podcast page, asking our listeners and page followers, etc., their thoughts on DoorDash, and it was sparked by a situation of my own that I happened to have 5 minutes before I created the poll,
Okay.
which is what made me create the poll. So, anyways, I don't know if either of you commented on it or if you voted,
I
but the
did
question was, if you use DoorDash, do you enjoy it, you like it, or don't really have issues with it, or you more often than not have issues when you use it? What did you guys vote on there?
I voted that I don't typically have any issues.
Same.
Okay, Chris, same thing.
Yep. I've had one problem in all of my orders, which is probably over 100 orders by now.
Seriously?
Yeah, one problem, which was from Boston Market. It was supposed to be there in 45 minutes. It ended up taking almost an hour and a half.
Wow.
That was the only problem.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time for me, it's like the restaurant. It's not necessarily DoorDash. Like we always have a problem with KFC over on State Road.
Mm-hmm. What type of issues do you have when you have them? Like what? Like
Completely wrong order.
Okay.
Like everything's always gotten to us at the right time, unless it's like Popeyes.
Like
Popeyes, I know it's gonna be an hour and a half.
Sure.
Like
missing items, or just like you get
with
somebody else's
KFC,
order.
it's totally fucking random. Like I might get like the one time we ordered, she wanted popcorn chicken, and I got like spicy chicken and then like potato wedges or something.
Yeah.
She ended up getting like a chicken sandwich, potato wedges, the wrong drink,
Mhm.
but then all my stuff was right. So they just fucking got it wrong.
Gotcha.
No
Like, they're
fucks
just
were
like,
given.
we're just gonna do whatever the fuck we want.
So I was curious between the reason I asked if it was specific things or not, because in the post someone commented that they have an app and they go through and they check off.
Mm.
So I'm curious, like,
I saw that comment.
did they give you the wrong bag? Like, because then it's the driver that's not on KFC.
Right. No,
Because if
it's,
they had
it's
more than one
definitely was
order-
the wrong
Gotcha.
food with the right name.
And I'll
Got
tell you why mine, the one bad instance that I had, that was the driver. That wasn't the Boston Market.
Yeah.
The reason why is because I could see on there that they picked it up on time,
Yeah.
but they had to run 2 other orders before they ran mine.
And that's a DoorDash thing.
That's not my problem. Yeah.
Right. That's that's not the restaurant either.
Yep.
So I fall into the category of more often than not, unfortunately. Of the votes so far, it's not closed yet, but 28 people have said rarely have issues to 19 that say they
Wow, 19.
have. Yeah. Which I'm not.
Wow.
Here's the thing. I think you guys are pretty fortunate.
Mhm.
I have issues a lot.
Like what?
Missing drinks notoriously. I'd say 60% of the time I don't get my drink in order one.
60.
Wow.
60%.
It's just
of the
missing
time.
altogether. It's not wrong. It's just
They
missing.
don't give me it. They don't give me it. Now, here's the thing. I don't know. There could be 2 at fault for that.
Mhm.
I think it's an even distribution of fault, because one, the restaurant maybe forgot to give it to the person, but the driver is supposed to use an app where they check off the items you got. So if they truly do that, they would see that there's a drink and they don't have one. So drinks all the time. Orders made incorrectly. That's not on DoorDash, unfortunately, but like, I don't know how they fix that. I have issues like yours a lot where it takes forever,
Mhm.
and that's a DoorDash. That's not the Dasher, and this wasn't bashing the drivers. This is just the app as a whole and the convenience of the service.
It's just a poll. People take it too seriously anyway.
But that's a flaw in the service,
Mhm.
because I run into that issue a lot where it says 30 minutes and then it turns into an hour and a half.
yeah.
And you follow on the app and the driver's going the complete opposite direction
Yeah.
because they have 2 other orders they're running at the same time
I
from
do see
different
that
restaurants.
sometimes.
And then you get your food and it's cold.
Mhm.
That's a flaw in DoorDash. So
Mhm.
that's so I have issues with that.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What time do you order a majority of your orders, would you say?
Majority,
Yeah.
I'd say on average, I'm probably 8 o'clock or later.
I wonder
that
if
surprises me because that's when we order ours, and I would have thought like
Yeah, 8
prime
o'clock
time
or
would be like
later.
6, 7.
Exactly. If I was, I mean, not that it would make it okay, but if I
Mhm.
was ordering 12 o'clock, like lunch, or like 5:30, 6 o'clock,
Right.
prime dinner,
Then I would
I'm-
expect a urgent mistake.
Exactly.
See, but that's what I wonder. So like, I know yours contrasts his story though, but like to me, maybe at nighttime, just because it's busier and people are going to get dinner, because probably more than anything, people get fast food at dinner time. I would think maybe that adds to it. It's just the
Yeah.
busy atmosphere
But
of
I
it.
mean, I'm telling you, mine are, I mean, 8's probably being early.
Mhm.
I usually don't even like when I order DoorDash, it's because I've gone all day without eating and I'm finally like, fuck, it's 9 o'clock. I haven't ate today. I don't want to go out and get food. So I'm going to DoorDash. So it's 9 o'clock a lot of the time or later.
That's pretty late. There's not much even open then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is later.
Especially now with all the COVID rules and everything, a lot of restaurants are closed earlier.
Yep. So I don't know. A lot of people said it's issues with the restaurant, but it's weird because like I go to the same restaurants at DoorDash and I don't really have the problem. So I don't know if it's like when they know it's a DoorDash order, they're like, fuck that. And like, they don't care. And maybe because you're not having a direct interaction with the customer, they don't think that you're not going to call them out. Like I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. But I was just curious what people's thoughts were because that day, I had ordered from Pulp. Now, again, this is
God, Pulp delivers.
yeah, this was a restaurant related, but all I did was lump this into when I use DoorDash, do I have issues? People read into it too much. That's the restaurant's fault. That's not what I was getting at. Just if I use the app, do I have issues when I get my food? And I had ordered Pulp that day and I paid extra. I got a bowl and I had paid extra for extra toppings, which they did put none of them on. The receipt showed them. I paid for them,
Charged them.
but they didn't add any of them on to the item. So I was like, what the fuck?
And it's already more expensive. So it's probably like a $9 smoothie.
It was a $9 PB&J bowl because I added, it comes with peanut butter, bananas, yogurt, granola, and honey. And I wanted apples,
Where's the J?
blueberries. It's PB&J, sorry.
Oh.
Granola. I added
I was say there's a fucking jelly.
I always call it PB&J. But anyways, I paid for extra toppings. I added blueberries, apples, coconut, extra honey.
That sounds fantastic.
Charged. It's so when it comes right, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's decent without the extra stuff. With the extra stuff, so good. So anyways, I was bummed.
This is just a bowl of these things.
So yeah,
Now I'm intrigued.
oh, it's so good, bro. So it comes in like a plastic bowl. It's filled with granola on the bottom, then yogurt, then fresh cut up bananas.
That's enough for me. Just that.
Then they drizzle it with honey, and then you can get like fresh blueberries, you can get
Okay.
apples, you can get coconut.
I didn't hear you say the yogurt initially.
Oh,
That's
so
why I was like, it seems
good.
like a dry
no
thing,
bro.
but
Peanut butter, and then there's a bunch of peanut butter, and they have the PB&J, and then they've got the acai bowl. They're good. They're really good.
is that how you say that?
Acai?
I've just never known.
Oh yeah.
Can I have the ass bowl?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
I used to think it was like acai.
acai. So anyways, that was my DoorDash rant. But
Well, honestly, what would probably cure your ailments here is if you just ride along with these people.
oh yeah, I mean,
You don't know how busy it is at 9 o'clock, dude.
The
why?
sad thing is he got this comment.
Are we
Why?
going back to this?
No.
commented it.
No.
commented it on my thing.
This happened again
Jeez.
on this status or this poll.
Someone legit. She's a very nice lady. Nothing against her. But she's a DoorDasher.
What happened to the customer is always right.
Right.
And
Exactly.
she put on there, maybe you should do a ride along and understand.
Get the fuck. Does she know the joke? Is she fucking with you?
No, she doesn't know. No.
You sure?
Yeah.
She's just a dasher, man.
Yeah, because her thing was like, it was like a long.
Oh my God.
It was like a long response.
Dude,
About it. I know. I don't know why that's a thing.
I'm gonna use that whenever we get to our one point about the teacher. You guys don't
Oh
know
my
how
God.
stressful it is.
We should do
Just
a ride.
suck a nipple off. every
Sometimes
once in
you
a
gotta
while.
suck a nipple to de-stress.
Dude, I would have been happy to do a ride along on top of my 6th grade teacher. Okay.
Jeez.
Well, we might as well go to that story next. People are like, what the fuck is this show?
So what Jesse's talking about is
Transition.
there was there's a teacher in New York City. She works for a private school. It's supposed to be like a pretty prestigious, like
Which means she's not getting paid shit.
she's making over $100,000.
What?
Yes.
Well, that's in New York. That ain't
Yeah,
shit. That's like 30 grand here.
So she's a
I gotta see this girl.
anyway, so she's a teacher in New York, and the article came out about, the headline was something along the lines of New York teacher licks a nipple sucks on nipple while on Zoom. So I pull the article. I'm like, what the fuck? I know a lot of weird stuff happens because you think you go off camera and you don't. I'm like, okay, maybe she did her presentation and she was off camera, or she thought she was and she wasn't.
Yeah.
She was teaching, knowingly did it. So
is there a video?
I didn't look. I have the link. I'll send you the link.
Oh, I'll pass.
Yeah.
No bueno. Let me see.
You got to show the camera too. Hold on, wrong
You
one.
can see like.
Oh, I can't really see her, but so anyway, so I pull the article to read it, and it says she's teaching class.
Yeah.
And then she's on camera.
How old are the kids?
It was younger kids. It was like younger grades. It wasn't high school.
Okay.
And she.
That looks like he's sucking her nipple.
She is sucking on a naked man's nipple, and then she starts thrusting or like dry humping him while on camera, and then she goes right back to teaching class.
Maybe she thought her camera was off.
But she like went right in, like that's what I was saying. Like, I'm wondering if you thought your camera was off, but
that lucky guy.
that's the good Lord. That's where I don't know if she thought she was off camera, but like it was like she was teaching, and then I guess earlier in the day, she was doing something else, and the naked guy was just like standing behind her on camera while she was teaching.
Like, all right, when we say naked though, is this like dick out naked?
Well, I mean, he was behind her, but he had no top
No shirt
on at all. And he was standing behind her like while she was teaching. And then later on, she starts sucking on his nipple and like dry humping him on camera. So anyways, the whole reason I brought the story up was because outside of that, she was sucking on some dude's nipple on.
Yes, you will get fired.
No.
To answer your question.
No. She's still getting paid.
Well, yeah.
And
there's got to be an internal investigation.
They just reassigned her.
Yeah.
She's still working.
Yeah, she's teaching health class now.
Why? What?
Technically, it's not a sexual act. I'm sure there's a way for you to get away. We got a union, baby.
Wait.
If I want to suck some nipples on Zoom, I'm going to suck some fucking nipples.
All right. So that's my question for each of you. Is the punishment she's received appropriate for what she did? You're teaching young children, and you're engaged in a somewhat sexual act while on camera, while you're working.
Provocative act. It's not sexual.
Dry humping is pretty sexual.
That's not true. Those kids are doing that on TikTok anyways.
I'm sorry. This happened when?
This was like within the last week.
Okay. So there's been probably enough time.
So either way, even if it was yesterday,
well,
do you put them on unpaid leave, or maybe she's supposed to get paid because of a union, but she's not working?
Yeah, it's very difficult.
She's still getting paid, and she's still working.
She's gonna get in trouble.
Actually, she's probably doesn't have a union. She's at a private school.
Mm-hmm.
No union.
She's gonna get in trouble once this reaches enough news outlets and parents freak out enough.
It was on Fox News and Apple News. That's a big outlet.
Yeah.
I pulled it from Apple.
Yeah.
What do you think appropriate response to something like that is? Truly, jokes aside.
This is on you because this is kind of out of my expertise.
Okay, take it out of being a teacher. You're on a Zoom meeting at your work, and you get busted sucking on your girlfriend's nipple and dry humping her on camera.
I hate to say, I don't think my boss would probably get to.
That's fine. All right, so put it in teacher context.
As a teacher, honestly,
put it in a teacher context.
If I were to make I mean, she's definitely gonna be suspended, but I don't know if she loses her job over this.
I don't think she loses her job either.
No?
I know. Look, I ain't gonna say no names.
Oh.
I ain't gonna say no whatever. I know some people who have gotten away with things that are worse than that in the school, and I don't mean like weirder, but definitely worse. Like, I know people who have put hands on students before
and did not get fired
because of the situation that was going on. They had an investigation. They were looked into, never fired.
Jesus.
I know people who have had sex in the school where it was known but not proven type
Teachers?
of deal. Adults, I'll say that.
Okay, that's fair.
That you sideburns?
But
you want somebody to smoke?
It could be all milk. I don't know, man. I'm not like
here's my thing.
My thing is like it's highly inappropriate for sure. I would need to know the context of what the hell she thought was going on. If this was, I thought it'd be funny, or I didn't know my camera was on, or blah, 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 blah. Like the context matters.
So okay. So let's just hypothetically say she did it thinking it would be funny.
I'd probably fire her.
Okay.
Fire her?
I'd probably fire her.
Now she did it thinking she was on a break off camera, and it wasn't off
fire her at
camera.
all.
But you can't prove intention, though.
I know. I'm just curious what,
Well, so,
based
like-
on situation, what would you think?
My whole thing is like, I could fully understand because, okay, so when I was teaching at home, hardly any kids ever got on. I'd have like maybe 2 or 3 kids, and that's
Right.
probably not the norm, but they're definitely not filling the class. Shouldn't have 30 kids on there watching her.
Right.
So you're at home all the time. You get into a level of comfort. Clearly, she's been doing this for a long time because she's still on Zoom. This is probably 1.5 years in the making.
Yep.
There were times where I was in meetings and shit with no pants on. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
you can't tell, right?
That's why I said if the guy just walked into the frame and he was naked or whatever, and like she didn't know, she's like, "Hey, get the hell out of here" or whatever.
Right.
I'm like, that's not her fault.
But like, I get.
Oh, by the
If-
way, this happened in September,
Okay.
and she's still on paid.
She might get fired then. If that's
changes.
still. But
Why hasn't she already been?
if Steph came to me during these Zoom meetings and she was just like flashing her boobs off camera and like had this little kink fetish where she wanted to have sex with me like during the thing, I might do it.
Oh, you definitely
I'd
would.
do it
Off camera,
off camera,
of course.
But then if the camera, like if the freaking laptop on my chest falls and something gets seen really quickly,
yeah.
should I lose my entire career over that?
I
Jesse,
mean,
we're all in
Should I
agreement.
lose
You're
my entire career?
You're on
Come
work.
on.
You're on work time. Could you do that while you were at work? No. While you were at school? No. You're
It'd be a lot
technically-
harder to get away with.
We're all in agreement that you're a perv. Let's keep it to Amanda K here for a second.
I'm just saying, there's been plenty of times in the history of work where people were getting blowies under a desk or something.
So this says during the Zoom call, she observed Fletcher eating spaghetti and an unidentified shirtless male in her Zoom window's background for about 3 minutes, at which point Fletcher then put her mouth on the male's nipple.
Okay, so hold on, wait. And this is playing devil's advocate. If this is like her boyfriend or something, and he's back there eating spaghetti, let's say he gets like a piece of sauce on his chest, and she's just like, "You got sauce on your chest," and she's just fucking weird and goes, do we know this was a sexual sucking his nipple?
Well, she started dry humping him also.
Yeah, that kind of,
That's true.
That's
That's
sexual.
true. You got some sauce down there.
And it says that so this happened in September, and October 29th of last year, investigators examined 2 digital files that were taken during the Zoom session.
8
So
months ago.
This has been going on
Jesus.
since almost November of last year.
Well, that just seems like overkill. Either fucking fire her or don't.
Right.
Make a decision.
Shit or
at
get
that
off the
point.
pot.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. She was not fucking kids.
Yeah, I mean, that's
So this is funny. So then it says a second video also showed Fletcher putting her face into the man's chest and then lower, at which point she rocked her head back and forth, possibly indicating an act of suckling.
okay.
Suckling?
Devil's advocate. What was she doing?
Well, clearly she was suckling.
Following this act, Fletcher's face returned in view of the screen and she gyrated her shoulders and smiled. Both video. So I don't know what that means. Like she came back and was just like, hey
guys.
I'm back. This guy done sucking him off. So let's teach
Some
you
little
about-
first graders like, he's saying if you had a pearl necklace, he would sperm on you. Why would he say that?
Bro,
I got a strange feeling in my pants and I don't know what it is.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know, man.
I don't know. Just fire her and be done with it. It's a
Here's-
private school.
Here's my thing. Like
It's a private school. Just fucking can her.
Yeah.
as a parent, like
Been
you
fired
ain't,
for less.
you ain't okay with that.
It is
These are
hard to
young
find
kids.
teachers in New York. That's why she has a job.
Yeah.
It is impossible to fill those positions. They pay you to live there.
Mm,
I could go there and live fucking rent free in New York and teach up there right now.
bad, huh?
It's
Jeez.
bad, but they put you in like a little place, like your entire apartment's the size of this room, not
Yeah.
including the bathroom back there. So not ideal living circumstances.
I'd be cool with that as long as Ryan was cleaning it.
Heyo. Speaking of
Cleaning things.
Gyrating.
Speaking of
This episode is brought to you by Magic Eraser.
Jeez. Speaking of acts involving children and social media and that sort of thing, there is talk of Instagram for children. It is being highly people are trying to highly push back on Zuckerberg for trying to release this.
Oh fuck!
But it's going to be an Instagram app solely. Right now, you can have an account if you're 13 or older. So it'll be an account for younger children. My question to you guys is: one, do you think it's necessary?
No.
And more so than that, how old do you think is the appropriate age for a child to be able to have their own social media account that they manage on their own?
So my thing is, my first answer is no.
And that's Facebook's and Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. What age do you think is really appropriate for a child to have an app that they can manage on their own?
I think it's kind of just between the trust and the attitude and demeanor of the child. So like, if you have a child who's a straight shooter who, posts pictures of, I don't know, plants and flowers and all kinds of whatever artistic shit.
That kid is not a straight shooter.
Right.
They're growing something
Probably
else.
a serial killer in making, but
yeah.
But if you have a kid like that, you guys can talk it out, whatever. I'm fine with like 16 years old, something like that. I don't think a 13-year-old needs to have any form of social media whatsoever. That's just my opinion.
Jesse?
I try to think of like when I grew up type of thing. Like, I think I would have been mature enough at like 13 to have something. I would not want my daughter having one when she was 13 though.
See when that fappening took place.
I was not 13.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it just depends on what your worry is. Like, I don't think I would even want a 16-year-old on there because you become vain and like you're hunting for likes, and that's like a whole problem in and of itself.
Sure. Yeah.
As far as like, I don't want grown-ass men messaging my daughter type of thing,
that's my thing.
That's where the 13 becomes an issue for me. 16, I believe that she would come to me and be like, Dad, you need to go shoot this person. But like 13, you don't know any better. This guy's really nice. I don't know. Like, Annie had a guy one time who I went to high school with that messaged her when he was like 20 and she was like 12.
Ooh.
And he didn't say anything inappropriate, but I'm like reading it and it's just too flirty. Like, he's like, oh, you like Justin Bieber? I like him too. Putting emojis and shit. And like, I told him that I would murder him if he messaged her again.
Yeah.
And then he showed up at my work a week later to fix our HVAC. And I told him that he was not going to fix anything to get the fuck out of my building. And I called his supervisor and told them, and he was never allowed to work here again. So yeah, fuck you, Jake.
But so my question was, with this Instagram, are there guidelines set already? Like, is it stronger, like stricter than the typical Instagram is?
I don't know the details of that yet. I would imagine there are, but so here's my thing, and it plays into both your points. I think freshmen in high school minimum, which I don't think that's 15 or so.
Yeah,
minimum. At that point, you're in high school. You're going to start getting aware of things. You got older.
Your body's going to start going through changes.
Right. Exactly. But no, I mean, you're going to be around older guys and stuff. You're going to be introduced to a lot of different stuff at that age anyways. I think 15 is like the youngest, that you really should have access to that on your own. And for two different reasons. One, the safety aspect, what you have access to and what people have access to you the second you sign up for a social media platform.
Yeah.
That's my main concern with an age minimum is going to be, so yeah, this new Instagram might have some sort of restriction or security and stuff, but what's stopping Joe Schmo child molester from signing up for a child account?
That's my biggest worry about it.
How are they valid? They don't validate. You put in what your birthday is and your name and crap, and you have an account.
Yeah.
Right? So now you have just created an app that is children 13 or younger.
Right. A network for kiddie porn.
And that creeper wants to sign up for that account, knowing it's some young kid on there.
Yeah.
Now maybe they take away
post
direct
up 30
message
pictures of my niece and say that I'm a 11-year-old girl.
Right.
And you can do that on any app, but now you've just kind of segregated these children out.
Right.
Now Facebook and stuff, 13 is young to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I see it. I do see it.
Crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't want my kid having a Facebook at 13. I know you can set privacy and like parental things and stuff on there, but there's a lot of fucked up shit out there. To Jesse's point, the whole like ego and like the mental thing, what it takes on you mentally and kids don't need that at that age.
I mean,
There's
the
other
bullying,
things they
yeah.
should be focusing on at that
Yeah.
age. They're not having to worry about body shaming and bullying and wanting likes and that sort of thing.
I just had to stop like a huge gang fight at my school because of shit that was on social media. I was like, what the fuck is the problem? They're like, man, he said, fuck my dead homies. And I was like, when?
Yep.
He's like, on Facebook. Well,
Yep.
Sorry, man. You're not fighting. Like,
Right. Bro, think about Facebook when it came out. You had to have a college. You had to be in college to
you had
have
to
a
prove
Facebook.
it. You had to log in
You had
with
to
your
have
college ID
Yeah,
or your college email.
It was exclusive. I mean, MySpace, I don't know what the age restriction was, but
I don't know if there was one.
I had a MySpace
Might
when I
have
was
been 18,
young.
but-
Yeah, I was.
I mean, I had one when I was younger, but I don't think I was like young. Like, I
Look
don't
at
even think it
what
was
that
out
shit
yet.
did. Favorite 8.
Dude, top 8, bro.
Right.
Top 8.
Top
Fucking
8.
drama everywhere. I got
Yep.
9 friends. What the fuck you doing to me, MySpace?
And if you pissed me off, I'm moving you down.
That's
that
right.
day.
You're looking, you're like, what the fuck am I doing 5th?
It's
So
like a
true, dude.
college ranking
Dude,
system.
MySpace was great though. You had your own background. You could
It's
play
dope.
your own
Music,
song on
yep.
there.
MySpace was dope.
It was dope. It's
Yeah.
whack now. You ever gone back and looked
Oh,
at
yeah.
it?
It's so slow.
It's like
fucking
it tries to be
terrible.
Twitter now.
It's impossible to even get it to load. It's so slow. I tried going back to look for like old pictures on
Do they have an
there.
app?
The app doesn't work. You can use like a mobile version, but they don't have an app
Ah.
anymore.
Jesus.
But yeah, so age wise, I mean 15, 16, you guys think?
I like.
For realistically,
I'm
it's
strong
fair?
at 16. Like that's.
I truly believe it depends on the mentality of the kid. Like
Yeah.
Chris was saying.
I guess also my issue is with any age restricted type thing, how do you prove it? You know, how are they proving these kids are of age anyways? You can lie and say you're, I mean, that's a whole nother freaking story you get into at that point when you think you're talking to a girl that's on an app that's supposed to be a minimum of 18 or 16 years old.
Yeah.
And they lied and they're actually 13 or something because they wanted to be on Facebook like their friends. And you know, they don't make you validated by anyway.
See, that's what they need though. They need almost to like
Like ID or
there's a
something.
way for like a parent that would have to sign you up for it or something, you know, some way.
Legal advice for all you boys out there. If a girl says she's 18 and shows up and she's actually 16, even if she has a fake ID that says she's 18, if you sleep with her, you're going to jail.
You're fucked. You are absolutely fucked. And if you have any nudes of your exes or your current significant others before they were 18,
We
that
recently
is-
found out that is also
that
child
is considered
porn.
child porn.
Yep.
So you might want to do something with that. That's legal advice by Jesse Unk.
Just a side fact. I've been single for 6 years.
I drink and I know things.
Drinking, I know things. Anyhow, so yeah, that's the new Instagram, but it's getting like a ton of pushback. Nobody wants it to go through.
I can't
Everyone
see
is
how that-
advising that they don't do it. So, which I agree with. I don't think it's not necessary.
Yeah.
And no, 10-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids don't need Instagram.
I want to see the guy or girl who proposed this, like who said like this is what we need to do.
Oh, you know it's some fucking Harvey Weinstein looking motherfucker. It's
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a whole lot of money as he chews on his cigar and signs up for an account.
Fucking creepers, man. Other two things were, well, the China rocket disaster, which
Oh yeah.
Where did it end up hitting?
in the Indian Ocean.
Indian Ocean.
yeah,
Yeah.
I figured it'd hit the ocean.
Thankfully, it
but
didn't hit land. It landed.
everything crashes in the Indian Ocean.
It's weird.
It's the
Tons of
biggest-
planes.
The biggest body of water that we have.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Atlantic and the Pacific?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. The Indian Ocean.
I always thought the Indian Ocean was like third smallest. Like I thought it was Arctic, Indian, and then like the two big ones.
Because the Indian's that big gap between.
Yeah.
Was it like America, Brazil, Europe?
I'm not a
No,
geography
that's
teacher.
the Atlantic.
Oh, that is the Atlantic. You're right.
Yeah.
The Indian's the one that's like underneath
Off to the
India,
side.
between Africa and Australia and all that.
Maybe the Atlantic is the biggest.
Yeah.
I think the Atlantic is the biggest. I think it goes Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic,
Keep talking.
either way.
which makes it suspicious that so many motherfucking planes are going down over there and now rockets are falling into it. There's a black hole underneath the Indian Ocean, everybody.
It's very possible.
You heard it here first.
The Pacific is the biggest ocean.
Fuck.
Pacific,
But the other order was correct, right? I just got my flippity flops.
Looks like it. Yeah. 'cause
Pacific, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic.
Indian's pretty big though.
Well, yeah, it's an ocean. I mean, but still.
But yeah, it landed there. Apparently they have they've got like 10 more. I fucking love that kid, man.
Kid, I hate it.
Apparently I like roller coaster.
Apparently the rocket fell down out of space. Apparently we have protocols for this, and apparently the protocols did not work. And I apparently I really like space and astronauts, and Elon Musk makes the Dogecoin, and apparently that did not save the rocket from collateral damage, and it hit the Indian Ocean. Dots, not feathers.
Apparently, I'm having a heart
I
attack.
can't breathe.
Oh,
You grab me a beer.
oh my god, I can't breathe.
Apparently, Jesse's still very thirsty and doesn't have a buzz on. So apparently, I need another beer. It's apparently I want a bumbleberry.
Apparently, he wants his fat head.
There's a bumbleberry in the side door. Apparently, you did not see that right away. Thank you.
That fucking kid.
That's our segment.
I know.
So apparently there was apparently they've got 10, they've got 10 more rockets apparently scheduled to their. So anyways, jokes aside, they do have like 10 more missions planned.
Yeah.
Because they're saying that this is not going to be a one-off thing where we might run into this happening.
Dope.
Because they've got 10 more planned. They're building a new space station. I think they're building like their own.
Mm.
So that's what this initial launch was.
Good job, China.
What the fuck do we do though if they keep doing this and they just come plummeting down to Earth? I mean, do we like blow that out of the sky? Is that something that we can do?
I think eventually ramifications have to be, brought to the forefront for sure.
We have what are called Patriot missiles that are supposed to be designed if a nuclear warhead was coming towards our country. And we've already used that shit on meteors and stuff in the past.
Oh,
we had a big ass meteor that was coming towards us in like 2013, I want to say.
We blew it up?
Blew it up out of the sky because it was going to hit us.
Really?
2013. See, if that shit was available in 1999, Bruce Willis would still be alive.
Goddamn right. Goddamn.
Wait, that's for real? We blew a meteor
because
up with a Patriot missile?
I was very fucking worried about it.
That's what that movie Eye in the Sky is about.
I don't remember that. That's dope.
Yeah, it was not dope at the time.
I mean, I know we have that technology, but I don't know I didn't know we actually like used a missile to do that before.
Yeah.
That's legit.
Yeah,
science is cool.
They won't fuck with that kind of thing.
But yeah, fucking China.
China.
They do whatever the fuck they want, man. They fucking disease the whole world, and now they're dropping rockets.
Whoa! The thoughts and comments of Ryan Weiss do not reflect the Media Motivate podcast in any way.
And apparently,
did it not start in China? Did I make that up?
Jesus, Ryan. You go along with one of my Hollywood picks for later for the miscastings.
Oh,
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It started in China.
Mickey Rooney
Wuhan,
over
China.
here.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I didn't say it was a China virus. I just said that it started in China. It's true. It's true. It's fact. It's fact. It's real fact. Whatever. It is the thoughts and comments of the show because that's where it started and it's a fact. We only talk facts on this show.
I guess.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Where did the China virus start?
What the fuck is that?
That's my name, Borat.
That's my Borat.
Wobble wee
That
woo.
was terrible.
Where's it from? Where did coronavirus originate?
It's speculated.
It is speculated that it started in Wuhan, China.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, it started in China. So Jesse just collaborated that, and it's now the thoughts and comments of Ryan and Jesse.
I didn't collaborate it. I corroborated.
Wow, I'm not an English teacher.
Apparently, he's not an English teacher. This is going off the rails. Let's get the fuck on.
The last one, and sadly, we talked a couple weeks ago about coronavirus, not the China virus, coronavirus, slowly coming down and declining. And guess what was going up? Pew, pew, pew.
Shootings.
9 mass shootings this past weekend. 9 in one weekend.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
I'm kind of past it.
You're just over it?
Nobody's doing anything about it. So why am I going to concern myself?
He's right. I mean, look, if you guys really want this shit done, get it done. If not, shut the fuck up.
It seems like
9.
Like a third of those were in Colorado Springs, though. So it's like,
it was like 5 different
isolated
states.
problems there. So, I don't live there.
No, it was.
There's like 2 or 3 that were in Colorado Springs, bro.
It was.
I can tell you this is never going to happen just because of money. Period.
So it happened in Phoenix, Maryland, California, New Jersey, Milwaukee, St. Louis. Yeah. None of those were Colorado, by the way.
Not Ohio.
It's crazy, though. That's just awful.
There was one in Colorado Springs like 2 days ago. It's probably just not in that report, then.
So there's more than 9 then. So
yeah.
There's 10, 11, 12. That's
because they just had one a few weeks back before that. So
a Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah.
It's always like parties too. It was like one was like a birthday party. One was at like
the birthday party when he shot like 6 people and then himself.
Yeah, bro.
That's because you have these personalities, combustible elements, in a room. One person gets hard and talks all this shit. Yeah.
I just don't understand.
And then you shoot a bunch of kids.
How do you that's a mental thing though. Like, is that solvable via a gun law?
No.
Yes.
How do you fix that?
No.
My gun law fixes everything.
Yeah. I'm seriously though,
Sign up for the Unk gun law. I do think that it fixes everything. No, you don't
gun
fix,
guy.
you can't fix mass shootings, but mass shootings for me are just like the littlest of issue. Like, I feel like people always think about the mass shootings first when gun violence is much more rampant in this country across the board. You're much more likely to get killed for cheating on your wife than you are in a mass shooting or by random street violence or being robbed. So mass shootings just don't do it for me. It's just, I feel like mass shootings are just
that's what fuels the argument.
It's a tagline for views.
Yep.
So that everybody thinks, oh my God, at any time I could go into Giant Eagle and somebody could unload and kill me.
Yeah.
And like, I guess that could happen, but you could also walk outside and get struck by lightning. So
yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Like, those are situations where that's not a gun law related issue. I don't think. Like, that was just some person who's just unstable, where I don't think that that's going to get caught up in a gun law to not have them have a gun. And they're at a party and
you're
like,
never going to stop. No.
Yeah,
and that's my thing is you're never going to stop.
You got a pissed off
everything.
person, and then
somebody in countries where, guns don't exist. In Australia, there's people that go around and stab the shit out of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that the gun people always like to point out, like, well, look, you can't stop it. They'll still kill. But it's like, yeah, but the fucking guy didn't knife and kill a bunch of other people in gang violence either. So, whatever. I don't know. It's just like, I'm just done.
Yeah.
I'm just done with it. Like, I moved past it. It all stopped during Corona. I kind of forgot about it. And I'm just not going to pay it any mind anymore because it just doesn't matter to me. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't, because it's just not going to change, and nobody's working to change it. And everything that I try to do to change it doesn't affect it. So I'll do what I can locally, and that's what I'm going to do.
So apparently Jesse doesn't care about gun laws.
It's just like, I know it's a pessimistic view, but it's like, you can work in your own neighborhoods, but like, it's not going to fucking happen nationally.
This shit
it's just not.
This shit would have been done already. Like, every time it's just for speech. It's just for effect at this point. President or a politician will come on the TV and they'll say it's a tragedy and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, if you really cared, you'd pass it. Anyway, so
no, it's true. It is true. It's one of those things where we, like, with anything political, can't focus at the top. Nothing changes there.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
When Columbine happened, they made major changes. When all the gang violence happened in the 80s in Chicago, they made major changes.
Yeah.
Now we have equally as devastating fucking massacres all the time. And it's just
Nothing
like,
changes.
well, that's just how it happens. It's how the cookie crumbles.
It's true.
It's how the bullet casings fall. Apparently, that was not a good way to compare that.
That was not a good way to collaborate your story.
Apparently.
I'm not an English teacher. All right, guys. That's all for our depressing Let's Get Social.
Sports is next.
We're going to hop over to sports and hope that it's much better.
Sports.
Swing on, line to deep left field. It is gone! 45-40, run, William, run! 20, 15!
Iguodala, Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James!
LeBron James with the...
This is locker room talk.
What is going on in sports, or anything new and exciting? Sports suck right now.
Not really. I mean,
Not really. They don't suck, or not really anything's going on.
No, not really anything's going on. Now that the draft is gone and free agency is done, like, you're going to get a couple of little straggling things, but like NFL news is pretty much finished.
Till training.
Right. Until training camp, which doesn't really start until like August.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to see some things throughout the summer where you'll be like, oh, maybe there's a big trade that'll happen here or there, but like, there's not going to be any consistent news. It's all just fantasy football and, whatever, which my draft is next week for a new auction startup
already.
league.
Jesus.
Brand new startup league, man. I'm so excited. 14 teams and it's like 50-person rosters. It's fucking ridiculous.
Like 4 or 5 good players.
Oh, Lord, man.
Yeah. One thing that was not on the notes that I do want to bring up for sports, though, is Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather. Did you guys see?
It's fantastic.
Did you guys see all the stuff?
Dude, Logan or Jake Paul is a G.
Dude,
hats, shirts.
He got his ass kicked.
He did not.
He got punched like 4 times. Like, blacked his eye. Yeah, he fucked him up.
Quit protecting him. If they really want him to get his ass kicked, drop the rules.
Dude got a freaking got your hat tattoo.
Yeah, no, they're fucking whack.
Gangster.
No, he's not.
I love that.
He just knows how to
dude.
play the game. He's gonna make millions of dollars off of that.
Exactly.
He's not gangster.
Not gangster.
The Pauls are fucking lame. Those are like the worst people to come out of Cleveland.
Really
I'll be the
are.
Pauls all day long. That dude is just making money.
So what?
He's printing money.
Everybody hates him. He's fucking fake. I hate Floyd.
Gotcha tattoo.
I can't stand Floyd Mayweather. He dodged
I hate him
Pacquiao
too.
for 10 years. He dodged a bunch of other competition. The dude talks too much shit,
But I have to root for him.
but I hope he kills him. I hope that dude dies in the ring. I hope he knocks his fucking head off literally.
no,
Don't hit the button.
no, do it.
No.
ahead.
We think it.
Jesse Unk
And Chris Kessinger.
Made to Motivate podcast.
I
Yes.
do not wish death upon anyone.
I do. That
He can
guy.
get his ass beat all day long, and I'll be okay with it. But
If he
They can
dies,
think
he
what they want.
dies. Dude,
Throwing the damn towel.
it was funny, dude. I don't care. It was funny. That shit was funny.
he's
Dude,
way bigger than Floyd, isn't he?
He untied his shoes on stage and then started making fun of him.
He knows how to
So
push a
funny.
fight. That's the thing. Like he's a promoting genius.
Well,
but
Jake's
he's a piece
not
of shit.
even fighting.
Yeah, I know. But they're both that way.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic.
The press conference where Floyd went out and he was like, I know what he did to Japan, the country of
My
Japan.
God.
And then he came back and was like, well, I know what you did to your wife. I was like, "Pfft." Like that was the one time I was like, God damn, you are going to die.
And
He is
Bro.
going to murder you.
Did you guys see Jake's banned from the fight?
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, like
because of what he did at
'Cause
the
the
press
hat.
conference.
I heard Floyd's going to bag $100 million from this fight.
oh, easily.
What does that mean that the Logan's going to make them?
Not even
Same thing.
close to that.
He's not
He'll
gonna
probably
make
get like
that.
10.
He's the one that's putting
if
it
that.
on.
Yeah, he's gonna be all right either way.
He's making bank.
He's just not
Floyd
gonna get Floyd
negotiates
money.
his deals
Yeah.
so that he gets I guarantee you he's taking 80-90% of the revenue.
The Connor paycheck against Floyd was like laughable compared to
Really?
what Floyd made. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Like Connor didn't make much
He
compared
did-
to Floyd.
I think it was
compared
like
to Floyd.
30-70 or something like that.
Yeah,
Oh.
like Floyd, he knows his money. That's why they call him Money Mayweather.
Here's my thing. I know that everyone like hates Logan and they think it's a joke, but like the dude's legitimately trying to be a boxer.
He's
And
never
gonna-
going to be a professional.
I know, but he's gonna fight. I mean, if he wins, if it's a big if, but if he beats, dude, have a career.
My
ahead of him, man. He's
ideal-
trying-
If
he's
he-
trying to make something of his career, and yet they tarnish it a little bit because they're fucking idiot
YouTubers?
YouTube stars, and like they don't know how to be professional. But
Even at 50, if he beats Mayweather, it's the biggest win of his career so far.
yeah, oh,
easily.
absolutely. That will set him up for other fights if he
Yes.
beats him.
The perfect situation for me is that they go out, both land a crazy hit. Logan dies in the ring, and Floyd goes down knocked out. Tie, the only tie in his career, or no, I do think he has one other tie, but still, tie in his career goes to some bum ass YouTuber, and Logan gets wiped off the face.
I can deal with that.
Good lord, man.
I can't stand them, dude. They are the epitome
Is
of.
it the cockiness? Like, what
No,
don't you guys
it's-
like about
They
it?
are the epitome of what we were talking about with those 16-year-old girls and what we don't want them to be because of the Instagram.
Yeah.
They are fake.
I got that.
They fucking do all this shit just for money. They're not real people at all. Even the good things that they do are all in the name of promoting a brand,
The one
putting
guy-
money in their pocket, and they're fucking
But
assholes.
What do you think they're like off camera?
I think that they're
Truly.
truly fucking assholes.
You think so? I think the problem is that they've built these characters. Like it's all it's all for show. I wonder if they're truly like that off camera.
No, I think that they absolutely are, because you can be a character that is a positive person and
but they're trying to do it to make
look at Mr.
doing it for
Beast.
hype and
Mr.
make
Beast is
money.
the #1 account on YouTube.
Yeah.
That dude doesn't seem like a dick at all.
Yeah.
He seems like a bunch of dumb friends
Yeah.
who got together. He's like the Smosh guys. The Smosh guys are probably fucking dope in real life. Freaking who are the Good Mythical Morning guys? Those guys, Rhett and Link, dope guys. You can make a shitload of money on YouTube and have a really successful career and be a good person and still give back.
It's also
They
lot
are
harder
assholes.
to be Good Mythical Morning and conduct these professional shows than just to be some douchebag that gets a following.
I don't want
It's so
people
easy.
following him.
I know. I'm just saying, man. The dude is just
The last time we had a douchebag with a major following, the Capitol got stormed. So,
and the thing is, fighters don't like them because of the fact that they've basically jumped rails in regards of,
I know why fighters
getting massive fighting promotions. I mean, you've got great MMA fighters who still have not been on a pay-per-view to this day. And you've got this fucking horrible pay-per-view presentation that's making millions of dollars every single pay-per-view.
And that's the thing is they're making
money
off
hate
of
them for that.
Yes.
Why hate them?
Because they're ruining the
brand.
They're ruining
not as a
the
fighter.
system.
They've built a brand for themselves enough that people are willing to pay them millions of dollars.
But that's tarnishing. That's tarnishing the sport. Everybody watched Floyd versus Manny because they wanted to see the fight they had been waiting 10 years to see because it was about the sport. They wanted to see what would happen. Yeah. They're watching this shit because they either want to see Floyd laugh or die, get beat up and lose his career and laugh at him, or they want to see Logan get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Nobody wants anything positive out of this. Nobody's thinking, wow, what a great step in Logan's career being a professional fighter. Yeah. No, nobody fucking cares. He's a fucking asshole, and we want to see his face get back.
Which is why it's probably an exhibition fight. It's not a sanctioned professional boxing
which is
fight.
Even stupider. What the fuck are we doing it for then?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. But
that's why the rules protect him.
That's why I'm streaming it and I'm not going to pay for it because.
But you guys are contradicting yourself. You don't want it to be a real fight because it tarnishes it. So they don't do it as a real fight.
I don't want the fight to happen.
Okay, but they do it as an exhibition because then it's not going to tarnish. It's not a sanctioned real boxing, whatever the professional boxing league is. It's an exhibition fight that me and you could throw on, and I could fight Chris on camera and make a bunch of money. So it's like they can only do one or the other.
Here's the thing. I'll compare the Ronda Rousey rule to it all. So Ronda Rousey went to WWE. Okay. She was in the main event of WrestleMania 8 months into her wrestling career. And that pissed a lot of people off, myself included.
Sure.
Understandably so, because you work your whole career for that pinnacle. This is the same thing in this case. So you have fighters who are looking up and they're going, well, these guys who haven't fought anybody even remotely credible are making millions of dollars on a pay-per-view, and I can't get a break even on a pay-per-view stage.
And it's even worse because at least Ronda Rousey was an actual fighter.
Yeah,
you could at least say she trained for it. Maybe she
did not train for it.
No, but she jumped to the wrong platform for sure. But at least she's an athlete. She hasn't earned shit.
So the best comparison that I was getting to this is Shayna Baszler, who was an MMA fighter turned wrestler. Shayna went all the way to the minor league. She was an independent wrestler. She went to NXT, which is the minor leagues of WWE, and now she is a WWE Tag Team Champion.
Yeah.
That's the way you do it. If the Pauls want to be boxers, you go at the lowest stage. You fight in a bingo hall at 50 people. You knock them out. You move your way up. That's the way you earn credibility.
But I guess my issue with you shouldn't be mad at them for it. Be mad at whoever's sponsoring the fight. Boycott them.
But they're the CEOs of that promotion. They are the main primary breadwinners of that promotion.
Who's hosting? Who's the boxing organization that's hosting the fight?
I can't remember what the hell the name of it is.
Be mad at them though.
Oh, sure,
They're the ones putting the fight on.
And every pay-per-view they've had, I've trashed them on my Facebook. I've said this is garbage. Snoop Dogg's the worst fucking commentator ever.
If someone's gonna pay me a shit ton of money because they know I'm gonna make them money, and I didn't go through the rings or whatever, that's on them. That's not on me.
But you're still a dick.
Well,
if we get famous and all of a sudden we're just like, oh, somebody wants to sign us for the NFL just because of our name and then all that, you're a fucking piece of shit. You don't deserve to be there.
Why?
Because you fucking suck at football.
And here's my thing.
Oh, right. I got what you're saying.
If you want to call yourself a boxer, cool. Here's the thing, though. Remove the rules. Remove the safety net.
Right.
Now go be a boxer.
Yep.
Right. Now go see how you feel.
I guess Floyd
I would like to know more about that, though, in detail. Like what are the rules and because of who? Is it because of Floyd's team? Is it because of his age and they're worried that he could get hurt and they're not going to allow him? Then are you still mad at Logan for that?
Floyd's not going to get hurt.
On Floyd?
Oh, I'm mad at the rules as a whole. I think it's ridiculous. Neither one of them should be fighting if you're not going to do a real boxing fight.
Floyd is the greatest defensive fighter of all time. He ain't going to get hurt. I don't give a fuck how much bigger Logan is.
Well, I mean, you got to think about the Tyson Holyfield. That was a fucking lame ass fight too.
Right. It was. That shouldn't have happened either.
This exhibition fight.
The latest one. Yeah.
You know, someone is putting in these rules to make it so that no one's getting hurt.
Right.
Is that on Logan or is that on the league that's hosting it?
I honestly think that's a little on Floyd because he's the one that started that whole, well, I'll fight you, but we have to use 10-ounce gloves and then we have to go into my ring and I get 70% of the cut and I do this because I'm undefeated and I want to protect my record.
Exactly.
And that's more of a reason why I want him to be.
You shouldn't be fighting, period.
The old days, you would go up against the best guy, The best fighters of all time all have some losses on their records. Floyd is not in the GOAT conversation for boxing for me.
This is why boxing has become such a laughable sport in the eyes of its audience, because they look at this and you have spectacles like this. You don't have an MMA show where they're going out there and going, well, this week in Bob's Chicken Coop, we're going to have Billy Bob Thornton versus Tom Cruise here in this cage. No, it's become such a three-ring circus. It's laughable. I wouldn't order one of these pay-per-views if you put a gun to my head.
Yeah, and that's why MMA is taking over. I mean, it's got better viewership. I don't know about numbers overall because boxing really generates a ton of gambling revenue.
Yeah, it does.
But like, there's not a huge following for boxing like there used to be. I mean, it's a dying sport. And if gambling weren't a thing, I don't think it would be around at all, because people would much rather watch MMA fighters beat the dog shit out of each other with damn near no rules versus two guys who set up a fight with a million rules before the match even starts. And then you're just throwing punches.
I pay $50 for a fight. I'm sorry to mirror what he said. I want to see somebody die, man. Like, that's the way it goes. I pay $50. I want to see you damn near on your deathbed.
Right. Those old time heavyweight fighters, those dudes used to be throwing fucking haymakers and knocking each other out cold. That doesn't happen anymore.
I get it. I guess my thing is, I'm just like, you know what if you buy it or whatever, or you support it, you know what it is. You know, you're not going in expecting it to be a fucking Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield original fight where they're going to beat the shit out of each other.
I would hope
it's an exhibition fight. It's a YouTube fucking spectacle, and it is what it is. But I can't knock the hustle because the dudes are fucking. I mean, I'm just like, fuck, man.
The biggest thing that annoys me are the inexperienced idiots who follow him on YouTube and say that he's a real fighter now. So I see that shit all the time on my Facebook. That's the shit where I'm like, oh, cringe, man.
And that I understand. Like, if you're in that profession, being annoyed because he hasn't earned the title of being a well-renowned boxer. That he has not earned by any means. So in that aspect, I completely get. Like, don't go out and call yourself a fucking elite boxer. You have to prove that first. Like, and you have to prove it through actual fights.
If you think either of these Pauls could take down Canelo, you are out of your fucking mind.
Exactly. They're not taking on any seasoned boxer within their age range, maybe even older, but I mean, like, within reason. This Floyd fight, even if Floyd is 50-0 or whatever the hell he is, the dude's pretty old.
Yeah.
50. As much as we don't want to believe it, Logan might stand a shot against him.
With the rules, I don't see why not.
He's actually training for it. Now, granted, Conor couldn't beat him, so he probably really stands absolutely no chance. But he's fighting a fucking grandpa. I mean, come on, fight someone for real and then call yourself a boxer. That aspect I totally agree with, and I understand the frustration.
Floyd is the ultimate thinker when it comes to these things. I don't think he would accept a deal that he couldn't win.
Right.
That's what he knew about Conor. He could rope-a-dope him for 8 rounds, and he knew that he was going to come out the winner.
Look, Conor's a fucking beast. If he didn't stand a chance, now I know Logan is quote unquote a boxer, where Conor was a UFC fighter, but still, I don't think that it's not the same thing. Like, I don't think he stands a chance, but I'd like to watch it one way or another just because I'd like to see the outcome of it. So.
What round did McGregor get knocked out?
Dude, he went a while. They called him.
Was it 10 rounds?
His stamina. I
thought it was
12. Yeah, he went almost the whole fight, man.
Because it was just Mayweather was beating him round after round. It was just he stood on his feet the whole time.
Yeah, right. And they ended up just calling it because he couldn't. He was just exhausted.
Yeah. Well, he rope-a-doped him. Yeah.
Yeah. He was, and that's been one of Conor's biggest flaws his whole career, though.
Oh yeah, you got to get him quick.
Late cardio.
He can't hold on to the late rounds. He tires out too quick.
I'm trying to find it. Want to know who do you think lasts longer?
Who do I think lasts longer in this? Oh, I would think
Logan. Do you think that Logan outlasts what Conor did?
Yeah.
Well, what round fight is this? I thought this is a 10-round fight.
Oh, I don't know. See, I don't know any of the rules. I don't know what gloves they're doing. I don't know if they're wearing headgear. I don't know anything as far as that goes.
Because if you're going the full 15, I don't think he outlasts Conor.
But I think the difference is, he's always and only trained as a boxer. So your body is trained a different way than in a UFC fighter. So I think that's the only little bit that he might be Conor in, but I would love to see him and Conor fight.
I think Floyd's well,
Conor missed that payday. Like he
Floyd didn't kill him. Fucking Conor would legitimately kill him.
I love Connor, and I would love to see that.
Connor just kind of went like this, as to where Floyd went, well, let's see the dollar signs on that, and we'll take that. That's why Floyd's the ultimate marketer.
Connor pulled the Brad, where he's not worth it. He's not worth my time. I don't give a shit.
Oh man.
All right, Jesse. What else? I forgot to add that one to the list.
No, yeah, we're good. So our boy, my boy, I don't know if he was your guys' boy.
Shit.
Timothy Tebow is coming back to the league, baby.
I'm cool with Tebow.
Signed a 1-year deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars, reunited with Urban
Bless
Meyer.
him? Is that?
Yeah.
No,
down
it's not bless him.
Down,
he like a
yeah,
he was
on the knee.
got down and kneeled, but bless him was who the hell was bless him?
Are you
bless him? It was NBA.
Oh no, bless him was your guy. Was the Browns. It was
no, it's Jarvis. No, it's not Jarvis. Who the fuck is it?
One of those receivers. Fuck.
Bless him.
Yeah,
maybe it was Jarvis.
Yeah,
I think it was Jarvis
on that show.
I just know somebody would always do this. Like
that's Tebow. Tebow did the kneel whenever he scored.
I like Tebow. I don't mind him.
I love Tebow. Tebow practiced what he preached. Say what you want about his religion and like beliefs and everything, but Tebow never had a scandal. Dude got married a virgin, did everything he said that he was going to do. He could have had sex with Katy Perry. She wanted him.
He got married a virgin.
Oh, he did.
He's a fucking going to hell just for lying.
You don't believe it?
That he went,
you don't believe it?
Married? No.
Dude, I believe him 100%.
That dude is not a fucking virgin.
I fucking believe
That's
him
a good-looking dude,
100%, man.
That dude got...
If he didn't have sex with Katy Perry, that dude was married a virgin because she threw herself at him, and you're just salty about it.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
They went out on like 2 dates. She wanted to get serious, and he broke up with her.
She wanted a bone.
He did not.
I don't believe that for 1 second. I mean, are we saying nothing? He didn't get his wiener wet at all? No, HJ's, BJ,
that
backdoor,
dude,
nothing.
That dude,
like he went to. There's no way he went in clean slate. There's
Tim
no way.
Tebow. If anybody were to do it, it was Timothy.
You know
Tebow.
what? You know what he means by he was a virgin getting married. He was a born again virgin.
No,
that's what it was.
Yeah, no.
That 1 year.
No. You better give that man some respect.
No.
Greatest college football quarterback of all time.
Whoa.
Of all time.
Whoa.
Who's better?
Slow it.
Who's better?
Slow it.
Who's better?
Slow it.
Who's better?
Slow it.
I just want to know.
Baker Mayfield?
No. He's not.
Baker was a better college quarterback than Tim Tebow. Yeah.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
He won 2 national championships. Baker didn't even win one.
Yeah.
And he put that team on his back.
You know what the teams were like when Tim Tebow won the national championship?
It doesn't matter. He was the
Florida
best
team
player
was
on that
stacked,
team.
and it was all
a bunch
Americans,
of,
and every other team outside Ohio State, nobody even should have been in that conversation.
On. I am pulling up his
Greatest
stats.
college quarterback.
You guys are forgetting.
It was a bunch of sissy virgins.
You are forgetting how great Tim Tebow was.
Forgetting.
Yes, you are. Give me a guesstimate on what you think his stats looked like at Florida.
Oh, he was a good quarterback.
Just give me a guess.
He was the best quarterback that the years that he played, for sure.
His sophomore year, he threw for 3,200 yards, 32 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions, and on top of that, he rushed for 895 and another 23.
And only banged 15 girls.
The guy had 55 touchdowns. 55. The year after that, threw for 27 and 30 with 4 interceptions. And then he rushed for another 673 and 12. The dude is insane. Do not ever disrespect Tim Tebow in my presence.
Anyways, born again virgin. What about him? What are we even talking about him?
He is getting signed to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
For 1 year.
1 year as a tight end, reunited with Urban. I don't think he's going to play. I think he's going to be there as like a mentor or something.
Is this like a Verajao retirement thing?
I don't think so. I think Urban thinks that he could utilize him still in ways, but
that's a tough position to go from one to the other, man.
He played as tight end for New England.
Chris, he's had
just
plenty
never
of
made the
experience
team.
going from one position to the other.
Touche.
But
QB to tight end, that's
he played tight end for New England. They tried to make that transition, and then he didn't make the team.
He's a short kid, yeah.
He's not huge.
Shut up, Ryan.
But
have a drink, Ryan.
I think he'll make the roster. I don't know if he's going to play. I think he'll finish like a 14, 15 catch guy on the year, but
maybe get some injury time.
Hey, if Trevor goes down, Tebow comes in, Jags win the Super Bowl.
I would honestly believe him more as a QB. Yeah.
Comeback player of the year.
We'll see.
But
I don't think he's going to have a lot of opportunity.
I just think it's cool. He's 33 years old.
Yeah.
That's young.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's not
for
but
the
it-
NFL.
No, but it seems so young. Like, what do you do with the rest of your life, man? It's just crazy.
Have you seen his wife?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lanta,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have probably been a virgin for that.
dude.
Bro, get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
Lasted until I was 13.
Oh, I mean, jeez, what's that compared to 28 or whatever that whole fuck this fucking guy was?
And then that there's not a lot of news to it other than that. It's just cool having him back. Tebow's dope. I'll buy his jersey.
Well, Jags are my unofficial second favorite team. So
Brett Farve still owes $600,000 to Mississippi Welfare Fund. I don't know the story.
So apparently,
Stop.
apparently, like a couple years ago, he somehow seems a little sketchy. He received like $1.2 million in a
I do remember this story.
non-profit organization or something, and he promised to pay it back.
Yes.
And he's paid back like 500,000 of it, but he's basically like in non-agreeance on any level of paying back the rest of the money.
is that a booster or affiliated with the college?
What's that?
Like that money, where does that come from?
It's Brett Favre.
But like $1.2 million, you say he borrowed it?
He
No, he got it
received
from like a
welfare from the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
I don't think that he necessarily, it wasn't like a mistake though.
he knew about it.
Right. But I don't think that, I think it was like people were pissed and he said, I'll pay it back because I don't need it. But he's not obligated to pay it back.
Oh,
It was
see,
like one of them rich people loopholes, I think.
they made it seem. Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
It's
Though, where
Bet Favre, he can.
it seemed
Brett
like one of those
Favre.
things where like it was the businesses that were applying for COVID relief when they didn't really need it, and they were taking money from people that needed it. Like,
Yeah.
come on, bro, you don't really. You can take money from the fucking Mississippi welfare.
yeah.
So, anyways, it's just people are all pissed because he still owes them a shit ton of money, and he's
Yeah.
basically.
Brett Favre's been showing his true colors over the last year. I
Yeah,
bet.
he's not now. When you said boy, that's what I was saying. I'm
He
like,
was-
he is not my boy.
He's my favorite player growing up, and he's just making it worse and worse. I mean, I loved
did.
watching Brett Favre growing up.
I liked him.
That dude had the strongest arm in the league, and it's just
Well,
when the Saints bounty gated him out of a Super Bowl, I was so pissed. That was
second to
such a
Tim
good
Tebow.
team. Well, Tim Tebow's my favorite college. Actually, Tim Tebow's not my favorite college athlete. He's just the best college
Oh
athlete.
my God.
Not athlete, quarterback specifically. It is what it is. Speaking of Favre, that reminded me of Minnesota. So Adam Thielen came out today
Oh God.
and he said something like about Green Bay's stadium, and he was like, they need to upgrade it. It's such a like crappy stadium. It's basically bleacher seats.
It's a shithole.
And some dude commented on him, was like, your stadium literally had snow fall through the roof. And I just thought that was funny.
Jeez.
But last thing for sports, Ryan posed a question, or maybe it was Chris. I don't know who
I
came
did,
up
Ryan,
with all of these.
yeah.
The most overrated NFL team heading into the 2021 season.
So I've got 5 for you,
okay.
and I want you to say if you agree or disagree.
What are we constituting overrated? Like,
Word
This
of
is
mouth.
based on what they're garnishing as. So they using the DraftKings Super Bowl odds.
okay.
This is what they're stating the chances of these 5 teams are going to the Super Bowl.
I know one better be
Okay.
on that list.
So they've got the Los Angeles Rams at a plus 1,300 for Super Bowl odds.
Plus 1,300?
Yeah.
1,300 to win 100? No.
No, $100 would win you.
Oh,
$1,300.
okay. I was going to say, holy shit.
Yeah.
I'd have to hear the other odds to know. Give me all 5 real quick. And
They've
then I'll.
got the 49ers at a
Yep.
plus
There it
1,400.
is. There it is.
They've
Okay.
got the Packers at a plus 1,700.
They better get a quarterback.
They've got Broncos at plus 2,200, and they've got the Patriots at plus 2,800. So they've got the 5 most overrated teams going into the season as the Patriots,
Mm,
the Broncos, the
Okay.
Packers, the 49ers,
definitely.
and the Rams.
Okay. Man. Okay, so I think that the Rams have a legitimate shot to contend. I don't consider them to be winners, but I don't think Matt Stafford has ever gotten the credit that is due to him. They have a great wide receiver core. They still have a pretty good defense. Cam Akers, I think, is going to be a great running back. So if Stafford could come into a new system and be Stafford still, I think they'll be one of the top teams in the NFC. So I would, if I had to choose one of those teams to put money on, it's definitely them, especially for $1,300 on the 100. Niners, I don't trust Trey Lance, and I definitely don't trust Garoppolo. I think that they're probably a playoff team still, but like they're gonna be in like maybe 9 games.
No Super Bowl.
No Super Bowl chance. No. What were the other ones? You had the Packers was third. If Rodgers stays, they're a Super Bowl contender. I'm not convinced that he's staying. Everything people are saying is that he's going to be gone. And with all the shit that he's put out there, we've seen it smoothed over before, like Russell saying, like, here's the teams I would like to be traded to and all that. And then he ended up playing. So
they didn't give him any more weapons with that draft.
They did not. And that was like a big fuck you, I think. But he's under contract. He didn't have to. There's still a loaded roster even without him. Like you put Jordan Love in there, they're still good for 8 games, I would think. So
I think they need defensive help too.
They do. But their defense isn't terrible. They do have a couple of pieces on that team that are okay. Is Jordan Love going to be able to step in and do anything? Probably not, but I got him in Dynasty, so I hope that he does.
He didn't even win the backup job last year. So there's problems there, man.
Yeah. I if he stays, then now's the time to bet on that. If you think he's staying, you jump on that shit because I think that they're a Super Bowl team with Rodgers on that team. They brought back Jones. They still have Devontae Adams. They added 1 wide receiver late in the mid rounds or something.
Yeah, it was like 6.
Yeah, I think they're probably the best if Rodgers is on that team for sure out of all those people.
Of the 5, that's the one that I would bet on.
Yeah, if he stays, they're the best. And if he doesn't stay, then they're 3rd or 4th.
Mm-hmm.
They've got the Broncos listed as the 9th best odds to win the Super Bowl.
Not even close. Broncos are fucking terrible. Broncos are like 22nd best team in the league.
What does everybody see? Like, what are they looking at?
There's breakdowns on here, but it's a lot to read.
I think that those odds are based off of the idea that if Rodgers leaves, he's going to the Broncos. And
then they've got Patriots.
And there's no way I'm betting on that. The Broncos are fucking terrible.
Yeah. He doesn't have shit if he does go there.
And then the Patriots, they are a year away still. They're going to have a ton of money next year. I wouldn't bet on them to win anything this year. I think this year is get Mac Jones back in the offense, start to tailor a new offense around him, and then get all the weapons. Everybody in the league, we're going to go and get in New England next year. But the problem is can you get those people to come without Tom Brady still? I don't think that you can. Because notoriously, Bill Belichick, people don't like him.
So what do you guys think?
Of the Steelers? I'm glad you asked. I think that they are the most overrated, trash-ass bullshit team in the world.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think based off the draft and everything, the 2 Super Bowl contenders are going to be, realistically?
2?
Well, who do you think is going to play in the Super Bowl?
If I had to choose today,
based off last year and then what any team has done in the draft so far, what do you guys think realistically?
Can I give you my AFC and NFC championship and just go 4? Because it's hard to go to 2 because anything can happen.
Yeah.
NFC, I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to say Rams. And I am going to say, fuck, man, it's hard. The NFC is such a fucking joke.
I'll be honest. Yeah. Like that's the hardest thing for me.
Because the Saints don't have Breeze anymore. So they're gone.
I hate going
the Packers might not have Rodgers. So I don't want to choose them.
I hate going with my pick, but I'm going to.
I don't have the Seahawks because they're so bad. Titans are AFC.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the Cardinals, but I don't know. I don't think so. Like,
yeah.
Is that your pick? What do you think?
No.
What do you got?
I like the Cardinals though. I actually like them more.
I'd probably go Rams Cardinals, but it's so bad.
I like Cardinals more than a lot of people do. I'm going the Bucks just because to me, like,
oh fuck yeah, the Bucks.
To me, a lot of these NFC teams, they haven't done anything that's proven to me that they're going to overcome the Super Bowl champions.
Right.
Like, and it's not even Tom Brady. Like he's there, fine, whatever. But no team has impressed me in this draft in the NFC to where I go like that.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers are in trouble. The AFC.
You think Chiefs have a chance again?
I do. That's my legitimate.
So?
That's my legitimate. You could have a rematch. You legitimately could have a rematch this year.
Yeah, I'm changing my Cardinals pick to the Bucks because I thought about the Bucks originally, and then they just like lost. I lost them as I started thinking harder. I'm gonna go Rams Bucks. I think the Rams could beat them though. I think that Aaron Donald is a guy that could give Brady some trouble and
You
keep
think
him from his
Stafford could
age.
top Brady?
I don't think Stafford could top Brady, but I
Mhm.
do think the defense could stifle Brady because Brady was not great in the playoffs this year. That team really helped him out. And even in the Super Bowl, when he had that great first half, that defense was outstanding.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
Chiefs choked also. You got to think the Chiefs did not play
I don't
great.
think they choked. They had a lot of injury.
Yeah, but I mean,
Well-
but what I'm saying is Tom Brady won, but like it wasn't against the full Chiefs,
For sure.
And
and
that
team.
Bucks D took advantage of that Chiefs offensive line
Yep.
Right,
big time.
right. So to Jesse's point, or both your point, you put someone else up against Brady with a full squad.
Brady got a defensive front like the Giants that beat him twice.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Right.
Yeah. Good call.
My AFC teams, Chiefs for sure. Their window is not closed yet. And honestly, like unbiasedly, I do think the Browns. I legitimately do. I think that they beat up on the Steelers really well last year. I think that if they had this defense with this defensive backfield and a linebacker like Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I think they could have held their own against the Chiefs and really competed with them. And had they beat the Chiefs, I think they would have gone to the Super Bowl last year, honestly,
Yeah.
even with that shitty defense. So you're getting Odell back. You're getting a lot of defensive players back, like Delpit and basically your entire secondary. You've added a ton of players to your secondary. You've added JOK. You've got Miles back. He won't be on like COVID tiredness at that point. You didn't really fill out your middle defensive tackle spot, but that's not going to cost you a Super Bowl. You've got Chubb coming back healthy. You've got Hunt coming back healthy. You're back in the same offense, back in the same defense. I legitimately think they'll make a run.
You know, guys, either of you think Bills have a chance?
See, and I was thinking about that too, but I think Bills are going to be that one team. There's always one team that's like in the elite of the previous year that falls off dramatically.
Yeah.
I think the Bills are going to be that team for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
I can't even explain to you like justifiably.
I feel like they've been working their way up. So,
sure.
you
And
know,
I want them to win,
yeah.
but I don't.
If the Browns didn't win, I would want the Bills to win because
Yeah.
they are like the twin of the Browns.
Yeah.
Like they know what we've been through.
Yeah.
They're the same type of blue collar town. We're always in the cold. They're diehard fans. I respect the hell out of the Bills. They don't have a run game though.
Yeah.
And Josh Allen is not going to be, he's just like Lamar. You can't run as much as you run and not get hurt eventually.
Josh Allen's my big question mark
And
too.
I think a lot of people are going to be keyed in on Diggs. You don't get repeat years like he had last year. And he was a huge part of their success.
Are Saints done? No chance this year?
Yeah,
You
I think
that
so.
they're
I
done?
think this is a rebuilding year.
Oh, I don't. I think they'll still compete, but I don't think they'll be Super Bowl contenders.
No?
I think that they're going to be.
I
think-
think they had a hell of
I
a
think
season,
third place.
man.
Atlanta's going to take second.
Jameis is going to come back in
Yeah.
and he's going to be great. I really think so. I still think he'll have his turnovers and everything, but the dude threw for 5,000 yards 2 years ago, and people have completely written him off.
Yeah.
I like Jameis Winston, man.
There's several teams that are going to be contenders. I mean, in the NFC, AFC, it's a bunch of bums, man.
I've got
Like, there's not a
5.
lot of great teams.
I've got 5 in the AFC. 2 of them are surprises, and 3 of them are the ones that I think are fighting for those top 2 spots. Obviously, the Chiefs. I like the Ravens still. I like the Browns. My 2 surprises, keep a lookout. You heard it here first. The Titans and the Dolphins are going to be solid teams. I think the
I
Dolphins are
agree.
going to win the division this year.
I wouldn't mind seeing Dolphins come around again. I miss when the Dolphins were like a legit team.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have a great defense
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And
They added some weapons for
added
offense.
they added a lot of weapons. That Jalen Waddle kid, their receiving core was already nasty.
Yeah.
Like there's no excuse for Tua not to be insane this year.
I
So
agree.
we'll see what happens.
It should
But
be
yeah.
it should be an exciting season. There's gonna be a lot of competition this year.
Yeah, I've got a
So,
dynasty auction draft this Friday.
it's crazy.
Super flex. So there's two quarterbacks, and then there's like a ton of people on top of that with like extra flex. It's fucking wild. Like we're gonna score like 500 points a week.
Yeah.
But I am targeting Jameis Winston as my second quarterback, and I'm hoping that he gets slept on, and I get him for like $2.
I could see it.
Speaking of which, what happened with the draft and someone having to come on a show and say the other show is better?
Oh yeah. So I won.
Oh,
You won.
I did win.
Oh.
Only one of their 4 main guys did better than me. That was my boy Richie. What
was the bet though? You had to do better than
the bet was that I had to do better than Bo.
Okay. Well.
I wanted to do better than all 4 of them, and I did better than 3 out of the 4. So I'm going to be going over there on Saturday for the draft anyways. And I told him he had to do it on his show, but we could certainly have him back on our show and do it again.
Hey, he's all I need to see is
a share.
The Made to Motivate podcast is better than the Foosball Fantasy Flyballers podcast, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm pumped.
And,
I get to meet all those guys finally and talk a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I hope they're not like.
Are you going over for the draft or are you going over to do the show?
I think we're doing both, but I told him I'm not doing both at the same time. Like the draft comes first, and
yeah.
He was like, yeah, we're just gonna be shooting shit, like whatever. So
they're solid guys.
We'll yeah, they're cool.
They had me on during the Cowboys pick.
Did they?
First round, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were joking.
No, they had me on the show. Like I was a call-in guest.
Oh,
and I was so happy when Micah Parsons got picked. Yeah.
I didn't listen to that show yet.
Yeah, because they called me. It was like 2 picks before, and it was right when we traded to Philly, and I'm like, no, and they're all laughing their ass off and everything. Like, yeah, how's that feel, Chris?
I have to go back and check.
That's
it out.
cool. I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Are they doing video yet?
Yeah, that was video.
Yes.
Oh, you were on via Zoom?
Well, I wasn't on Zoom. I was on call, but they were on video for that.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. I haven't. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're ready for Hollywood Report.
Main event, baby.
Hollywood.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm. Wait. Everybody, calm down. News team, assemble.
Got a long list of Hollywood Report stuff.
Yeah.
What is going on, Christopher?
Well, we got a couple of quick tidbits. First of all, Army of the Dead, the next anticipated Zack Snyder film, which is due out next week, is actually coming out this weekend. They moved it up 1 week, so it will be dropping Friday in theaters and on Netflix, I think is the streaming option for that. So be on the lookout for that one. For sure. Army of the Dead is a zombie apocalypse film. Snyder has been rumored as saying it is in the same vein as the George Romero films of like Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, Night of the Living Dead. So it is in the vein of that. Looks like it's got a lot of style to it too.
Slow zombies?
No, they're fast. Yeah. I'm not won over by the trailers yet, but we'll see. I like Dave Bautista, and it's got some promise to it. We'll see how it goes. Second tidbit is that the Golden Globes, formerly on NBC, NBC Today made an announcement that they are dropping the Golden Globes. They are dropping the Golden Globes from their annual telecast, mainly because there's not enough minority representation. Guys, do you think this is a good move or just a marketing strategy?
I didn't give a shit about the Golden Globes anyways. I only ever watched the Oscars, so it's kind of non-news for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't watch them, but I think it's a kind of bogus. Like,
so you don't
publicity to me. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
It can be
seems silly to me.
I think anytime, like, especially with marketing, it's best to kind of get ahead of these things, and that's kind of what they did on this strategy.
Here's my thing. This whole no minorities being on the board or committee or anything has been going on forever.
Oh yeah.
So did they have real bad ratings this year? So now they're like, well, let's spice it up. We're going to say we're not going to play it, and we're going to get all this attention. Too. Tom Cruise turned in all of his Grammys or Oscars or whatever, Golden Globes. He like returned them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That seems like it seems stupid.
I bet Tom actually believes he's doing something with that, though.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
I'm changing the world. I'm going to turn in my Golden Globes.
Hey, I like
because I'm so out of touch.
I like Tom Cruise, but I think the whole thing as a whole, Jesus,
crazy.
I think that it's been going on forever. So why all of a sudden, what sparked them now to decide that they're not going to do it? This isn't anything new.
Yeah, I just think it was probably just the controversy of representation. But this year there was a lot of representation. Like the Oscars were overwhelmingly minority represented. So
here's the thing for Tom Cruise and those other guys that are like saying something now. You sat there for 20 years at those events doing all that other shit. And now you're like, holy shit. I never noticed, but there are no black people here. Like, are you really not racist? You just didn't know you were racist.
ScarJo is one of the people that came out and said something. So I'm not defending that she
gives a shit what ScarJo says.
I'm not
She's barely an actress.
Wow.
Ooh! Oh,
Sorry.
Poor Ryan,
Her
man.
best role, she's not even on fucking camera. It's just her voice.
Jeez.
He's right on that.
Sorry.
Oh,
You got big tits and you were beautiful. And now,
Tell us how you really feel.
I mean, I'm just saying. That should be a segment. Jesse, I'm just saying, where I just rant and trash shit.
Jeez.
in other news,
All I was saying though is that ScarJo also came out and said something. So like there's everyone that shows up's guilty at that point.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean, you're saying everyone in every award show is guilty.
yeah,
Chris is guilty because he watches them and he reviews movies. So you're guilty too, fuckface.
totally guilty. Yep.
You're guilty too, Jesse.
I don't watch the
You
Golden
racist
Globes. Never
prick.
did. So
I only gave Moonlight an 8 out of 10.
You bastard.
Whoa.
Yeah, I did.
That's about right.
Anyway,
I actually
I think it's a
Beale
cop-out.
Street's better. So in other news, Mad Max Fury Road was the smash action hit of 2015. Definitely, it was one of my favorite films of that year. You didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful movie. It's amazing.
It's
in
intricately done,
terms of
yeah.
its shots and its action and everything. It just was a purpose. They went on the whole little adventure to get out there and then go, oh fuck, we got to turn back around and not do this whole thing. It just seemed pointless.
It was a rescue mission.
Yeah, but they didn't rescue anybody.
They did. They rescued the women.
Yeah, they could have done it without doing all that shit. It was
Jesus.
It was like the Casino World at the fucking Star Wars Episode 8.
But that's Mad Max films. They're always on the road and they're always these long chase films.
Now, to be fair, I have never seen another one. It was the
Oh,
first one
okay.
I'd ever seen. So
Fair enough then. So anyway, Fury Road is finally getting a sequel. They're finally going to talk about it 6 years later. And instead of Charlize Theron reprising her role as Furiosa, this apparently is going to take the rap of a prequel in which Anya Taylor-Joy, the Queen's Gambit herself, is going to take the role of Furiosa. Guys,
You realize why Chris is so excited about this now?
I'm excited now.
Yeah.
those eyes.
Her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What's that song? How's it go?
I
Super
don't
bad.
know.
Oh shit.
Michael Sarah.
Yeah.
You know, Jimmy, just like his brother, man.
Anya's taking that role, and in an undisclosed role right now, Chris Hemsworth is going to be in the movie too. So there's no confirmed Tom Hardy yet. If it's a prequel, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. But Chris Hemsworth in this movie.
He fell from the sky.
If
From
he
Guardians of
plays
the
Tom
Galaxy
Hardy,
to
that'd
be
be
in Mad
whack.
Max.
Yeah, I don't think there is going to be that role. I don't think Max is going to be in this movie. This seems to be Furiosa's story, like her before all the chaos and everything happened.
Maybe he's big old metal mouth dude.
Oh,
'Cause
Morton
that guy had
Joe.
the long blonde hair, right? Before he
Yeah.
gets all fucked up.
And Morton Joe, that would be interesting. He is in the first Mad Max film. Like that's kind of how they show how he gets fucked up.
Oh,
He could play that role though.
Okay. I need to watch those.
Other news, video game news.
Before
Video
you move
news.
on.
Sure.
How long has it been since the original?
6 years now.
How long
Actually, this month.
do you think is too long before they release a sequel to a movie?
Well, that's funny because if we're talking of that franchise,
Just in general.
between Thunderdome and Fury Road was 30 years,
Mhm.
29.
Wow.
So I mean,
How long do you think is too long? Do you think that do you think people wait so long because they're just like, fuck, we got to make something, so we'll just make a sequel to this? Or like, I just feel like so often there's these sequels or prequels that come out forever later, just out of like nowhere. Like
Avatar's
fucking
about to
Rocky.
get a sequel for
Yeah.
15 years later.
Rocky. The difference between Rockies was like 30 years or 20 years or something.
a lot of the case is production difficulties, unfortunately. Like when you're greenlighting a script, there's a lot of perfect elements that have to fall perfectly into shape for nobody understands like how difficult it is just to make a film.
Yeah.
You know, like everything has to be perfect on it. It's all about timing. And a lot of the time studios just give up on it because they're wasting away too much money and they go, we're putting it back on the shelf. That's the
Gotcha.
case with Fury Road. What happened with it for as long as it did. That sequel was supposed to come out, I think, in 1992. And, you know, it stretched out to 2015. It was just because, you know, George Miller lost interest. And then, you know, it became a task as far as the budget that he was looking for. The studio didn't want to give him. Then they finally did give in. So, yeah, it's a tug of war constantly. But there's different reasons for different franchises, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's as simple as, look, we were sitting around in the Scream franchise. We were sitting around. Nobody was doing anything. We all just decided to make a sequel to this movie.
Right.
That's why you're getting Scream 5 next year.
That's how so often it seems to me though. Like when it takes so long, it's like, we just needed something there's already a movie written. We'll just make another one.
Yeah.
You know, like otherwise I know like as far as movie production goes, there's a lot of that goes into it and it takes time, but it's 15, 20, 30 years. That's just like a money grab to me.
Well, and if you have a star who gets big, like, you know, say they were a no-namer before your movie and that movie made them big, now they're taking a bunch of roles on before they can even get back to doing your sequel movie.
That makes sense.
So, yeah, it's tough. Video game news this week. A Quebec man broke a Guinness World Record by playing an online video game for 44 hours, 44 minutes, and 44 seconds straight. I wanted to ask you guys, what is the longest one sit that you've ever had playing a video game?
That I consciously remember?
Yeah.
10 hours and 42 minutes.
Damn. What was that?
It was Pokemon Yellow on a Game Boy Color on Christmas Day when I was 7 years old.
10 hours.
10 hours. Because I distinctly remember because my dad yelled at me and was like, you need to get off that and play with your other toys. You've been playing that for 12 hours. And I pulled up the little menu that tells you your time. And I was like, nope, 10 hours and 42 minutes. So that's the longest that I remember.
Single game or just a video game without turning the system off?
I would say, yeah, just one sitting video game experience.
Easily to Jesse's are probably longer.
Okay.
I mean, as a kid, we'd have sleepovers. We would literally play all night long. Like I'm talking Super Nintendo. We'd play like Lion King, beat the whole fucking game, and put
such a good game, man.
Oh my God, that game
you couldn't turn it off because you couldn't save. You had to beat it in one setting.
So hard. That or like Aladdin. Lion King is really hard. Aladdin was really hard.
Yeah, Lion King is very hard.
Lion King is one of the notoriously known most difficult games on that console.
Yep. Did you beat it though?
We did.
I did too.
Oh my God.
And I remember
Holy shit.
specifically playing it for a very long time because I didn't own it at the time. We rented it for a sleepover and like we wanted to beat it and you have it for a day or 2 days.
Yeah.
So we fucking played that thing. I mean, I've easily played video games straight for like 12 hours. Yeah. Never fucking 44. There's no fucking way. I would die.
My longest, I'm nowhere near the console nuts that you guys are, obviously. But like for me, it's always the Zelda games. You know, like anytime a new Zelda game drops, I always play it and I always get immersed in that world. For me, it was definitely the Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. I know I've put in anywhere between 6 to 7 hours
easily.
Before.
Have you ever played a video? Have you ever beat a video game fully through in one sitting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Lion King.
Mario's are easy.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Mario Worlds.
I've never beat a Mario World.
Really?
Ever.
Oh yeah.
I can do that in an hour. I can sit there and be like, here's Mario 3. I'll show you right now.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what games all I beat in one sitting. I beat the Uncharted's in one sitting. Those games are fantastic.
Yeah, those are some of your favorites.
You know it's a good game if you can play it through because you just don't want to turn it off. You beat it in one sitting.
Tekken's
good ass game.
Tekken's I beat all in one sitting.
44 hours, dude.
That's too much.
Yeah, no, that's a long time. I couldn't do it. I couldn't.
I've been awake for that long, but I'm not playing a video game.
I don't know if I've ever been awake.
Oh, I have for
and
sure.
I was reading some of the nasty details of it too. So like he kept one of those like was the huge water jugs, like the ones that come in the fountains. He kept it there for peeing rights. So like he would actually pee while he was at his couch.
Oh, you got to. You got to. You can't get up and. What was he playing?
I don't know if it says that.
It's got to be something that's like.
I mean, what do you even play? I was saying, what do you even play for 44 hours?
Pac-Man.
Give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll give you a topic.
Yeah,
Rhode Island is neither a road nor an island.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of a game.
World of Warcraft.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I could see you doing something like that then.
Yeah. Moving on, back to movie news for a second. Last week, unfortunately, we weren't able to talk about it, but Marvel Phase 4. Yeah. We got the big release dates coming out. I wanted to go through all of these and see which ones you guys are excited for. First of all, kicking us off is
don't waste your time talking about that one.
Black
shitty
Widow.
Actress in the shitty movie.
Black Widow is July 9th of this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be trash. I'm gonna see it, but it's gonna be right there with Thor 2. I guarantee it. I will be shocked if I'm like blown away by this movie.
Are you gonna see it for free, or are you gonna actually spend money on something completely trash, cheap ass?
I'm gonna see it for free, unless Chris says that it's great.
Let's see. So let's see if you're kind of dismissed by it as I am. Like, so for me, I'm angry just because it's taken so fucking long to get this out, and I feel like there's several times that they could have dropped this movie that they didn't. Or do you legitimately think it looks like shit?
Both.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't think that the trailer was going to be good. Well, I didn't think the trailer was good when I initially saw it, and then it delayed and delayed and delayed, and I was like, okay, that just adds to it. And then they got another trailer that didn't look any better to me. And like, it just looks like I didn't need it. She's dead. And if the rumors are true that like, it's one of two things where either she like swapped out with her sister and her sister died, or her sister's going to come in and become the new Black Widow. I don't need a new Black Widow. Well, I need Black Widow to get the fuck out of my movie because she's dead.
I can't remember which movie it is, but Florence Pugh is cast in another one of these movies too. I can't remember which one it was. I saw she's on their IMDb list and I'm like, yep, there it is right there.
No.
Ryan, you're excited for this movie?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm excited. I initially was, just because I like the Marvel movies in general. So I was like, cool, a new one is coming out, and I like Scarlett Johansson. So I'm not like amped up to see it, but I will absolutely see it. Now, if I'm happy, I mean, it's not going to be awful. I'd be shocked if it's awful.
There's some awful Marvel movies.
Hey, what's an awful
Thor 2 is awful.
Thor 2,
bad ones.
Thor 2 is bad. That's the worst one.
Iron Man 3 is awful.
Yeah, I don't like Iron Man 2 really that much.
Iron Man 2 is pretty bad.
Most of the awful ones were pretty early on.
No, I think that's fair.
Hold on, let me think.
Captain Marvel's the worst one of the last like
that's a recent
5, 6.
And honestly, I rewatched it when I did that Marvel thing. I didn't hate it as much as I originally thought I did.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't great, but watching it the first sitting in theater, I left very let down.
Yeah.
Watching it again from home, I was like, this wasn't terrible.
Ant-Man 2 is pretty bad.
It was what was it?
Which one?
Ant-Man 2. Pretty bad.
Ant-Man 2?
Yeah, Ant-Man 2 wasn't great.
Yeah, I like the first one more.
Ant-Man 2 wasn't great.
Yeah.
So they're scattered in there.
There are some bad ones. I don't know. We'll see.
Now,
I'm gonna see it. I mean, I don't have high hopes for it by any means.
Now, if you want my Jesse feelings on a movie, Venom 2 looks like shit.
Oh yeah, that trailer came out.
That's what I will say. Venom 2 looks
but I want it to be so good.
I hated the first one, and
really?
I hated
it.
Oh, that movie was so fucking bad.
I thought that there was like so much potential between him and Venom in the first one, but the story was terrible.
And the only thing
I was hoping they'd come back better than this one with a better story.
Yep.
Luckily, they didn't show any of the story though, so maybe it'll be okay.
Oh man, it's just the presentation, that voice of Venom. Oh, it sounds so bad. It sounds like the Cookie Monster.
They'll fix it. They'll fix it.
Okay, so
ketchup.
Continue.
Me
like cookie. Continuing on, September 3rd, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, boy.
I'm excited for this one. Yeah, this one looks good. It looks like a kung fu film, like that Marvel captured with their kind of cinematography. Yeah,
I think it looks good.
Anytime Marvel can do something different, especially 5 films into their filmography at this point, I'm down for.
Yeah, that's my thing. Is I think like after I saw WandaVision and saw how they did something so different, I'm like, I trust them to make a kung fu movie.
Right.
And like, I'm a little nervous because I looked up like the 10 rings back whenever it was like rumored that would be the Iron Man 3 thing with the Mandarin.
Yeah.
And they seem very similar to the stones.
Oh,
and
really?
I don't want to have just a photocopy like thing.
Sure.
So I'm hoping that they tweak it and make it into something different. I'd be okay with the rings not being anything. Make it like a fucking heist and just make it a kick-ass kung fu movie and he's not even a superhero. I don't know all of his powers and shit.
Just make it like a covenant to their village or something, you know? Like,
he's super obscure person to me though. I've never heard of him before. I don't know a lot about him, so I'm excited to go in and see really cool stuff. I don't like Awkwafina.
Oh yeah, I there's one role that I like her as, but it's not superhero. 2 roles. I'm sorry. I liked her in Raya and the Last Dragon.
I didn't see that yet.
Yeah. So another franchise that I know nothing about, Eternals, November 5th of this year.
Bro,
I know a lot of people are psyched for this one.
So the Eternals are like super gods, like way above, like they're like entities of our existence, like time and death and all this other shit. And the tiny little sliver that we saw in their announcement just looked so dope. Like I cannot wait. It opens so many doors for the MCU. And from what I know, there's like a ton of stories that they can pull from that are like epic. I don't know a lot about them personally, but just from what I've read up on, they seem super dope. Like the type of thing that you can just do a ton of stuff with and get creative, which is right up the MCU's alley.
You have thoughts on this one, Ryan? Eternals? No,
I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, I know nothing. I sometimes like to go in just blank, like without any expectation or anything.
There's some of the most powerful beings in the MCU. I'm pretty sure that they're tied to Galactus as well, but I could be wrong.
So they're higher than like Thor as far as the
way higher.
Asgardian and all that. Okay,
way higher.
So what's interesting about this, and we have a 4th film that's coming out this year too. So there's 4 Marvel films that are coming out this year. I know they're making up for ground, obviously, from 2020, but like, does that seem like too much to you guys?
Hell no, man. I would take a Marvel movie every month.
Me too.
Okay.
If it's a good movie, I don't care how many you give me. Like, pile them on, man.
Okay.
I'm all about it, especially after a year of shit.
Yeah. The last one's the one I'm the most excited for. Spider-Man No Way Home, December 17th, right in time for Christmas. So this is the conclusion, the trilogy, which is gonna, expand the Spider-Verse, and it's gonna go back in time. We've heard the rumored Andrew Garfield. We've heard the rumored, all these different Doc Ock's gonna be back.
Yep.
This one, this is like the homecoming for all
Tobey Maguire,
fans.
Yeah,
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
What's going on with Tobey Maguire being in it?
Literally everybody is rumored to be in it.
Yeah,
because there's different Spider-Verses, so it's like, one Spider-Man can talk to another Spider-Man, or interact with them in their world.
I don't know. If they do it right, that will be dope.
Mhm.
But they really have to do that the right way with bringing them in and tying it into the story.
I really hope it's not like a flashback or
Yeah.
like he goes flying through the universes and sees them fighting,
Right.
and then ends up back. Like,
I would hope not.
That'll be whack if
Yeah.
they hyped it all up like this with this released information and everything.
Yeah, like I like the way they did what's the animated one?
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, like that's dope.
Such a good movie.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, if they did that, that would be your what did WandaVision did with the X-Men? That would be your
Yes.
I can't remember what his name was, but yeah, that would be your Evan Peters. So next year, 2022, March 25th, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. This is the first ever R-rated.
Oh, it's going to be rated R?
Yeah,
Okay.
R-rated Marvel film.
Bro.
This is interesting because Sam Raimi is also attached to it, not as a director, but as a producer.
They said it's going to be like a horror movie.
Yeah. So
It's the one I'm most excited for, and you just got me so much more excited.
yeah, I would say it's going to be interesting what they can do with that rating, as far as, does it feel desperate? Do they feel like they're going to the well just to please a rating, or does it accentuate the best of the material?
I think that they know that everybody's going to see Doctor Strange because the first one was fantastic.
I enjoyed the first one's underrated.
I love it. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. I
Mhm.
think that you've got a fantastic actor in Cumberbatch who's capable of pulling off something that needed to be R-rated if need be.
Mhm.
It expands it to the point where we're going to be able to see like the severity of what this interdimensional stuff might look like, without making it too kiddish. And I think that it opens up the doors for you to do more dark characters if it's successful.
Mhm.
I think people will go and see it with their kids still and make a ton of money on a Doctor Strange movie. I don't think they'll make it over the top with fucks and this and that. It'll probably be like scary, maybe a little bit of gore or blood or something like that. But I think that it's going to open the door for stuff like whenever we get a Blade movie that needs to be rated R, it will be able to be.
And Elizabeth Olsen is attached, so Wanda herself is attached to this movie. So that's going to be interesting to see those two powers play off of each other.
And maybe we'll see her boobs.
Boobies.
Rated R.
Katie
like
Holmes,
boobies.
a nice girl. I'm gonna see her boobies.
I'm with you, boobies.
Another one coming up next summer, May 6th. God, about a year from now. Thor: Love and Thunder. I love the last one. I think the last one was the best one.
I do too.
Thor movies are hit or miss, man. So
Really?
hopefully it plays on the better side of them and not.
That name doesn't do much for me, man.
Thor.
Like it better have a badass story because
Yeah,
isn't he with the Guardians? So how's that gonna work?
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
Yeah, I think that's going to lead into the movie we're going to get to a little later on.
I like
Right.
Thor when he is part of the gang.
Mhm.
I'm not super stoked on like standalone Thor movies. They're not like fantastic to me. The first one was good. I was about it. I liked Ragnarok.
I love
I
Ragnarok.
love Ragnarok.
But again, it wasn't just Thor. Like it played into the other characters and stuff. Just a standalone Thor doesn't do it for me.
If they go the route that they did with Ragnarok, where it's more of like a Guardians type of feel to it, where
Yes.
it's
More
great
comedy.
music, comedy, whatever,
All
I'm
about
okay
that.
with it.
I hope they get Taika back too.
I just don't know where you're gonna. If you would have told me at the beginning that Thor would be the longest running original member, I would not have thought that that would have been the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that he's got to be coming close to being done.
Who's your favorite?
Out of
Your
the
number one
originals,
favorite character,
oh, overall, Spider-Man, hands down, always.
Chris?
So are we talking just all the Avengers, like everybody that's
I'd say from like the original Iron Man to the movies we've gotten, out of the characters included in those movies, who is your favorite standalone?
Mine's stupid. Like that's why. Like I've always loved Hawkeye. Like Hawkeye's always been.
He's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah,
That's why I've got a little guy.
I always relate more to the human characters. That's why the Punisher is my favorite super. Well,
Yeah.
vigilante
He's
of all
just saying
time.
that because he wants to fuck his daughter.
No, it's not his daughter. It's their friends basically.
What? No, that's his daughter.
No, Kate Bishop's not his daughter.
No?
No, Kate Bishop's is just a woman he meets on the street, and she has kick-ass fighting skills, so he decides to train her.
No shit. I
She-
thought it was his daughter, like way after the blip, and she was just grown up.
I think in the comics that might be the case, or at least a version of the comics. This show, though, they said they have no relation.
The more you know.
Yeah,
The more you know.
that's because he wants to fuck her.
Right.
Everybody does.
Oh God. So July 8th, 2022, Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Do we know anything about it?
We don't, not yet. There's very small bits of information on some of these movies. There's one coming up that I'm gonna speak on a little bit, but yeah, not a lot's known about these 2022 to 2023 releases yet. Speaking of 2023, we're breaking into it with Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, February 17th, 2023.
Weakest of all of the movies, I
Didn't love
think.
it.
I would have to probably agree.
I really like Paul Rudd as
Yeah, I
the
do too.
character, but it's just like there's just not as much that you can do with Ant-Man.
I think the casting's perfect.
I do too.
Like with all of them, to be honest.
I'm not big on what's her name.
Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Question.
Mhm.
These dates are pretty far out. How do they choose what date they're going to release the movie?
So they look months in advance in terms of, with Marvel, it's usually like every 3 or 4 months they drop a movie.
You said July 9th? You said July 9th was the one?
For what? For the first one?
The new Black Panther.
Black Widow is July. No, Panther is July 8th, 2022.
Yeah. Just like a random date. I was just
They
curious,
just
like how do
they're
they
just hitting all the tent pole
Yeah.
weekends.
But that's a testament to Marvel, though. It's like, so as opposed to DC, they see like the next 4 years when they're planning something.
Yeah.
They build long term. DC, it's we're going to take it film by film.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Marvel though is like everything that's going to go up against them, possibly at the box office, is underneath the same studio. The only thing you've got to worry about is Star Wars.
True.
Yeah.
So they're just going to go, all right, well, we're going to put our stuff here on the 1st of December. You guys are going to do Christmas.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
It's how other studios react to them
Exactly.
scheduling their dates, and they go, well, they're doing July 8th. We'll release ours July 15th or 22nd.
because nobody dares to put up something like
Right.
Birds of Prey against a fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Last two here. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, May 5th, 2023. I'm psyched for this one.
Me too.
The Guardians are my favorite movies of all of the different characters.
I think that's the best series so far.
So confirmed for this one, the one piece of news I do have is Dave Bautista said no matter what happens, this is going to be his last film as Drax the Destroyer.
Really?
I saw that.
What's he doing? Just done?
I think
Just
he's
old.
done with it. Yeah, I think he's in, his contract's up for sure. He's not going to resign. So
he said I'm 52 years old and you know this is like a younger man's thing, and then he was like, if somebody decides to recast me, I'm okay with that.
Can't
And then
recast
James
him.
Gunn came out and said there's no Drax without you, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. So
people forget he was 33 when he started wrestling, and like that's ancient for pro wrestling.
So did they kill him off?
Oh,
What do you do?
I don't think so.
You know he's walking away. What do you do with the character?
I don't know if they're going to make any more Guardians movies. This might just be the last one.
Oh,
And they just go, that's it. You
I
know,
love
Where,
that.
where do you take it?
I don't know.
I think
I love the Guardians
I
though.
love those movies.
that's the story that needs most clarified to me after Infinity War, because especially with what's her name,
Captain Marvel.
Hottie, what's her name? Zoe
Gamora.
Saldana's character, Gamora. Yeah.
Mm.
So like, you know, with the whole memory, you know, this is basically a completely different Gamora now. So they have to establish her, bring her in, basically start from scratch again.
Yeah, I didn't really like that either.
Mhm.
It's just so comic booky.
It's
Nobody's
strange.
ever dead.
Yeah.
Let them be dead.
That's my problem too. Yeah.
like you know that in like
RDJ.
in like 10 years they're gonna be like somebody cloned him
Yeah.
and now there's an evil Iron Man, because it's gonna get to a point where this shit's not good anymore
Yeah.
and they're trying to salvage the MCU for the money and they're gonna pull dumbass shit like that and ruin it. It'll be like phase 5 or 6, but it'll happen.
I think Evans will come back too. I really do.
yeah, they're still young enough that they could come back.
Last one on this list, the only one that does not have a date right now, Fantastic Four.
Oh my God, I'm so pumped.
We
bro.
are finally going to get Marvel Fantastic Four.
I just rewatched Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer the other day with Steph because we were laying down. I was like, I gotta put something on to fall asleep to. We watched it the whole way through. It's so bad.
You watched it the whole way through and didn't fall asleep to
it's
it?
so
It's
bad.
horrible.
Bro.
It's both of the, like, I mean, all three are horrible.
They have huge names. Lawrence Fishburne is the surfer. I did not realize that.
Yeah. Larry.
And he has like 8 lines in the whole movie.
I just don't understand how you put that on to fall asleep to and watch the whole thing.
I know, like how you can't fall asleep.
I just had to watch it. I just had to see if it was as bad as I remembered.
It's as bad as you remember.
It's not even like, but like some stuff, like
It's not boring.
If you go back and watch Daredevil, it's good for the time.
Yeah.
It's just not good anymore.
Yeah.
That was bad even for the time.
Yep.
It's just so bad. Like Jessica Alba's got these bright blue fake contacts that don't even look remotely real.
Yeah.
She got some nice boobies.
She does get naked in that movie. You don't see anything.
Yeah. Oh my God, those movies are so bad. And then Josh Tranks was the worst one of the three of them. Oh,
Which one's Josh Tranks?
the newest one, the Fant Four Stick
Oh,
with Miles Teller.
You think that's the worst out of all of them?
That's easily the worst one out of the
I think
three.
the first like 40 minutes of that movie are really good. And then it just falls off the deep end.
There's good ideas, but that execution in the second half
The
is
end
so
is
bad.
the end is awful.
And Doom as a hacker. Oh God.
Yeah, I don't like that. They've not gotten Doom right ever.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I'm hoping that I hope that is the teased, like we go out of this phase into Dr. Doom being the next huge big bad guy.
Mhm.
And then we lead up for another 5 years. We fight Doom. He's a fucking badass like he's supposed to be. And then we go to Galactus and we do this shit for another 20 years.
Probably my second favorite villain.
Doom?
Yeah.
Who's your first?
Gentleman Ghost, of course.
Gentleman Ghost?
There's a listener out there who will laugh at that joke. Okay, moving on. We got two more things. Big breakup this week, guys.
Ooh.
You might be thinking, well, no big deal. I don't give a shit about celebrity relationships and all that.
Talking about Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
No.
They're doinking again. You see that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're both single, She broke away from Aroyd, so.
This is a big breakup.
This one's bigger.
Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom.
Oh, bigger.
There's nothing bigger than that. That would make my life's work worthwhile.
Well, this is going to break your heart into 5. Seth Rogen says he won't work with James Franco anymore due to sexual harassment allegations.
From 2018.
What?
Yeah, 2018, a bunch of women came out against him.
How did I not hear this?
Yeah. The sexually inappropriate behavior have surfaced. So Rogen spoke in an interview with the Sunday Times and publicly addressed or did not address Franco's problematic behavior. The two have worked together on screen in a string of movies and television shows, beginning with 1999 TV series Freaks and Geeks.
I saw that.
I can accept it. I can accept it.
Yeah.
I love Seth Rogen. I can live without James Franco.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you guys. So like you're put in the same predicament. Like you find out something about one of us or whatever, and you go, "Hey, I don't want to be tied to the podcast anymore." Whatever. Is this justified to you?
I'd have to know if you did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like if I'd talk to you guys about it first,
Yeah.
and then if I really thought you did it, I probably wouldn't come around.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, it depends on also what the sexual allegation is. Like.
Mm-hmm.
If you went to a bar and you hit on some girl and you didn't let it go quite quick enough, is that really enough for me to cut my ties with being friends with you? No. If you raped a girl, yeah, we're not friends anymore. But like,
yeah, there was. So the rumors are overly aggressive, sexting, which that's not a big deal. I mean, that happens.
if you sent your dick to somebody,
guy. And
I'll tell you, like, dude, you're being a little thirsty. It's probably a little bit much. You probably shouldn't do that.
And levels of abuse in the bedroom. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah.
So.
I think the dick pic thing unsolicited crosses certain lines though.
Think
so?
so?
Like if you just send it to some random girl.
Well, yeah. I don't think it's right regardless. I would never do that to a girl, but I'm saying like, as far as the other crimes that he's accused of, it's the weakest one.
Yeah.
For sure.
If I was single and I'm James Franco, though, I'm probably just going to think like, she's probably going to want to have sex with me. If I'm just going to do that as my opening line. Hey, come look at James Franco's dick. Like, it's not right.
Yeah.
But like, if you're of that mentality, he's been a star forever. Like, I'm sure that's worked in the past. It's probably, I don't know. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
It's kind of funny because
I've never been a dick guy, like a dick photo person that sends his dick around, but
tell me you got that.
I got
Tell me.
I said I'm not a dick guy.
Never been a
realized
dick guy. I mean, more of an ass guy.
How much I blow things.
God damn it.
But I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago.
Apparently, Jesse's not a dick guy.
Apparently Ryan is.
Pineapple Express was on TV, and I was thinking about this a couple weeks ago.
It's sad.
And I said to myself, I'm like, yeah, it's been a couple years since the whole Franco controversy. Like, obviously, Hollywood's kind of canceled him, but I'm like, where does that leave Seth Rogen? Like, does he, continue working with? I mean, they're like best buds. Does he continue working with him, or does he go like, no, I'm gonna distance myself and move on from the career?
That's my thing. Like to Jesse's point is, I kind of need to know more. Like they're besties.
Yeah.
So like, he should have a good understanding to some extent of like, is it true? Would he have done that? You know, not saying he would for sure know.
Do you think that he just had a
but-
conversation with him though? Like Chris gets an allegation and we go, dude, we still love you. We know you didn't do it. Even like, let's say he didn't do it.
Right.
We know you probably didn't do it or you didn't mean anything by it, but we
Gotta
can't have you
separate.
on the show right now.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's more of a PR move.
right.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
I think that's I believe that that's probably what
potentially
happened.
what happened.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So you think if Franco gets cleared, maybe he works with him again after that?
I think it'll be some time for sure.
I think that hurts
Because
too.
that'll bite you in the ass as soon as he does it. People will be like, "Oh, Seth Rogen," but Seth Rogen's the type of dude that can jump that and just be like, "Whatever."
Well,
He'll
because
just do,
well,
and everybody will love him again.
everybody's different, but to me, it's like, so if somebody, even in a working relationship, they kind of dispel you, like they say, "Hey, I don't want anything to do with you," and all that. If I'm found innocent after that, there's some feelings there. Like there's definitely some tension between me and the other party that go like, "Look, these guys said to hell with me. I'm gonna say to hell with them."
Yeah. I get that.
So to me, it's just, I don't know, man.
Sadly, in this time, at this day and age, like what he did was what he had to do.
Yeah,
I mean, you crucify yourself if you don't.
for sure.
So it
I don't
sucks, but
I almost don't think he would have even addressed it because James Franco isn't going to make a movie anytime soon anyway.
yeah.
I just don't see it like for them. I don't think it's a big deal. They could have kept making movies and people are still going to see it. Like,
I didn't even know about it.
people
honestly.
just don't care. People
Mhm.
don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Am I really going to not see a movie with James Franco or Amber Heard or something like that if it looks like a good movie?
Mhm.
No, I'm going to go see the movie. Like that's just what it is. Like everybody talked about Johnny Depp got canceled. The companies did that shit. Like if Johnny Depp came out with a good movie, I'd have gone and see him because he's Johnny fucking Depp.
Johnny Depp didn't get canceled. He makes a string of shit movies.
People
Like,
have been-
look at his
he
last
chooses
decade.
terrible roles.
Here's the thing, though. When that happened, people were fighting for his honor. To
Yeah.
your point, it was the studios that canceled him. It wasn't
Right.
any fans canceling
But
him.
that's my thing is like fans talk
Yeah.
about canceling people, but like we've never seen a moment like that really. Like we see canceling moments like Amber Heard where people lash out
Oh, they
and now nobody will touch her.
They hate that woman.
But there's never been a moment where let's say that James Franco and Seth Rogen were coming out with Superbad 2 and it actually looked great.
Mhm.
And it was all put together and Franco was going to be in it.
Sign me
And
up.
then
Yeah.
a week before everything drops and they even say he did it. That movie is going to make so much fucking money.
Yeah.
It will still be the top box office movie and they'll make money hand over fist regardless.
Actually, to your credit, I think the controversy would actually help it in that department. So like people, whenever even bad word of mouth is good publicity.
I wouldn't even think twice about it though.
Yeah.
I'd be like, he's a dick. I don't support him, but I'm going to go see Superbad too.
But I'm not saying you. I'm saying like more the people who
Yeah.
are on the edge who go, I don't know if I want to see it or not. Just because of the controversy, they're going to be lured to it all the more.
Yeah.
You give it more attention, and more people are going to see it magnetically.
Look, much like everything else, people care when it's convenient for them. But the second it becomes inconvenient, no one cares. They want
Right.
to see their fucking favorite actor in a movie. They're going to go see him.
That's a fair assessment.
Most of these
It's just what it
controversies
is.
Yeah.
happen after somebody's career has started to end. If the dude who played Kramer went on his old racist
Michael
rant
Richards.
during Seinfeld would have continued on and nobody would have thought about it.
Yeah. Well, and especially that was a different time too. So like,
Even if that was a 2010s type of show, though,
Mhm.
if it was right now in 2021 and it was the same success and everything, people wouldn't care. They would say they would care. Still be the number one show every week.
yeah.
It's just like the conversation we had about, I think it was the NFL.
Yep.
Like there's things that we don't agree with that happens, but we still continue to support it
Yeah.
because we enjoy watching it. And it's going to be more inconvenient for us to just try and boycott the NFL
Mhm.
than to just say, we don't agree with that, but we're still going to watch it.
And
anyways.
I said, if Ezekiel Elliott is found guilty of the things that he was accused of in that federal court, I said, I'll get rid of his jersey. You'll never hear me root for him again.
Right.
But he was found innocent,
Yep.
and that was the end of that.
Right.
So squash it.
And Kareem Hunt punted a girl's head across the hallway, and then he went out and scored 10 touchdowns. So
Jesse says it's smiling.
It's true though. I mean, we as humans or whatever, we find it very hard to actually, like, it's got to be real close to home
right.
for us to cut things off and actually cut things off. If
Yeah.
it's some nobody we heard about it on the news, people go about their everyday life.
Yeah.
Even if it's like something could happen to a family member of one of us, it's not going to really hit unless it's you guys.
Mhm.
Like if something happened to Ryan's brother where somebody that we knew was a dick to him, I'd be like, oh man, that sucks. But like, doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to ever talk to that person again. If they're a dick to you, I might be like, wow, that guy's an asshole. And I might not talk to him, but
Right.
I don't really know your brother. So, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's just how it is.
We have one more thing. I want to turn it over to Ryan though, because he had a question that he wanted
before
to.
your one last thing.
No. I'm done.
There
but
is
this-
just one more thing.
So my question is, can you think of, or do you know of, any movies where you would consider that the main character or characters were cast either wrong or inappropriately? That's part one of a two-part question.
Glad you said that.
So like a role where you knew like if the main character was cast by somebody else, it would have been so much better, or it was awful because they cast it to this person. Who wants to go first?
You go ahead.
This is what I was Googling during the beginning of the show because I could not think off the top of my head. I originally thought you said 5, so I have 5.
That's cool.
I have 6.
My first one was Johnny Depp as Willy Wonka in the new Willy Wonka.
Who would you have liked?
Literally anybody else. He was just bad. Like he wasn't Willy Wonka. Like he like completely revamped it and made it into that weird Tim Burton-y thing, and I just didn't like it.
He was almost a cartoon, as to where Gene Wilder, there was a nuance to him. It's like there's a mystery, but also kind of a fear to him.
Yes, Gene Wilder seemed like he was meticulous. He had some like a little bit of possible evil, but also like
they killed kids in that tunnel.
Allegedly.
That tunnel scene is horrifying when you're a kid, man.
But even that part, like that whole scene is great when he just sits there wide-eyed. You do not have any way of knowing which way we're going, and it's just going crazy and fucking fast, and it's great. And then they just pop out the other side, and it's just like, I'm gonna fuck with these people,
popping each other's assholes,
popping each other's asses.
Well, popping each other's assholes. My second one was Julianne Moore as Clarice Starling.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
Yeah,
terrible. They should have brought her back.
This is when I was working at the movie theater.
Who was it? Jodie Foster.
Yeah,
Jodie Foster should have been brought back as the original.
She didn't want it though. To be fair,
didn't want it. But at that point, like, what are you doing? She doesn't even look similar.
No.
Like I don't know who I would have picked because I'm not. That was a little bit farther back, and I don't know who was a star at that point in time.
I would have taken Bridget Fonda.
Yeah, that'd have been cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's okay in it, but like the accent is like, I'm gonna put on as much Mississippi molasses as I can. She's supposed to be West Virginia,
and nobody believes Julianne Moore with that accent.
Oh,
nobody
she's awful.
believes it.
It's terrible. And plus, they make her into like a superstar badass. Like the whole movie starts with like a fucking shootout in a favela or something.
This is like, for the most part, Clarice Starling is a desk jockey,
right?
So
she's
like,
supposed. That's the whole point.
She was timid when Jodie Foster held the gun in the first movie. She's
Yes.
shaking, like, you know.
And that's the whole point. Is that like Hannibal respects her for who she is and her drive. But she is a nobody. She's not the superstar. So for her to go in and be like a superstar all of a sudden, and that's writing, whatever. I can't fault Julianne Moore for that, but like not a good casting.
Hannibal's a horrible movie to begin with.
They're not good.
It is. It's a horrible movie. Like I'll say this. So like the first movie, Silence of the Lambs, classic. Anything after that, Red Dragon's all right.
I like Red Dragon.
Besides that, they're all trash.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, Hannibal and Hannibal Rising are both awful.
Yeah.
The TV show is fantastic.
Yeah.
They do all of those stories way better than the movies ever did.
I agree. Yeah.
This one I saw like a bunch of people posting, and I don't want to be the asshole who says that I like it, so I'm gonna go with them. But Mickey Rooney in The Breakfast Club, you could have had the racist Asian at least be Asian, I guess. Like it was just so stereotypical.
Wait, Asian in The Breakfast Club?
In not The Breakfast Club. What is it?
16 Candles.
16 Candles. Yes. Not Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just so like
long dong dong.
Yeah, like it's just way too over the top, and it doesn't age well. So,
no more Yankee, my wanky.
Yeah, you could have at least made him Asian, because like at least the kid in like Indiana Jones is stereotypically Asian, but he's Asian.
Him and the Golden
hey,
Child.
Dr. Jones. Hey, Dr. Jones. What are we gonna do, Dr. Jones?
Him and the Golden Child. Horrible.
Oh man.
Oh.
My fourth one is Hayden Christensen as Anakin.
Oh, wow. Over Jake Lloyd as Anakin?
He's terrible. Jake Lloyd's not good either.
Oh.
Anakin's pretty much bad all the way through the entire movies. But yes, over Jake Lloyd, because I can at least excuse him as being a child actor.
Mm-hmm.
And
fair enough.
Hayden Christensen's so bad. Like if the writing is bad, but even his delivery is just fucking trash. Like at least Like Obi-Wan has bad lines in those movies, but he did a great job with those. Ewan McGregor, he's a fantastic Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Hayden Christensen is awful. You don't believe him as being this like rise to Vader that he should have been.
Just a punk teenager.
Yeah, he's just fucking lame. Like the whole point is he's like a 13-year-old boy who's fucking horny, and
he is. He goes after what's her name, Padme.
Oh my god!
So
but it's just as bad as like a 13-year-old who would think that he's like one of those fedora guys who's he's sitting there and he's just like writing circles on the palm of her hand and talking about how sand is rough and it gets everywhere.
My
and
heart
like
is broken.
Yeah, it's just trash. It's so bad. And like part of that is on Lucas, but he's a bad actor. That's why when you go from something like Star Wars and you can't continue your fucking career.
Jumper was the biggest movie he had after that.
Everybody else did well after that. Everybody. And he did not. Fucking Samuel L. Jackson kept going. Ewan McGregor kept going. Fucking Natalie Portman kept going.
Yep.
And he crashed.
Yep.
What was the one that he did with T.I. where he was like a bank robber?
Oh god.
People love that movie. Takers? Was it Takers?
Yes. Yeah.
Terrible. He's fucking shitty in that too. And T.I.'s the worst actor in the world.
I haven't seen that movie.
And
T.I.'s bad though.
So bad. My last one is Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. She
I agree with that.
Destroyed those movies.
And I like her.
It should have been somebody that was lesser known. She ruined the character of Mystique. They made her the face of the franchise when she's supposed to be a bad guy. They made her into a good guy. I liked how Mystique was in the old ones. She's Magneto's right hand. They didn't get into her story enough. They could have really dove deep into who she was in the newer ones. And they wanted to go after the Hunger Games girl and really blow things up with the face value of it. And they perfectly cast everybody in that movie except for her out of the main people.
So the only film I'm going to dispute on that is First Class, because she was a nobody when First Class came out. That was 2008.
Was that before Hunger Games?
That was before the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Yes. So like she was a nobody at that point. So that one I kind of say to him, because I think she's actually okay as Mystique.
In the same breath, she starts good and ends up bad at the end of that movie, how she should. And then they were like, no, we're going to make her good again so we can make her the face of the franchise.
And by the time you get to Apocalypse, it's distracting on screen.
So
like you're seeing her and she's sleeping through this performance. Like she doesn't want to be there and nobody wants to see her there.
On top of that, half the time she's not even fucking Mystique. They let her just walk around blonde with her titties all hanging out.
Yeah. Ryan was okay with that.
Brought to you by the Fappening Jennifer Lawrence page.
I was mature when I was 13.
But yeah, she's probably the one that makes me the most mad though, because I can't even think of both of their names now. But the guy who plays Magneto and the guy who plays Professor X,
Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy.
Yes, both perfect. Which it's very hard to top the old versions, which was what, Ian McKellen and
Patrick Stewart.
Sir
Patrick Stewart.
Both were fantastic in their roles as the older versions, and then they made a perfect, like complete perfect young version.
Fassbender's so fucking awesome.
Oh,
in
he's
that role.
perfect.
I want to see a movie of just him.
That opening scene where he's down in Bolivia or some South American country, I don't fucking know, but he's talking about how like his family, they were killed by pig farmers and this and that. And then he puts the coin through his, oh my God, it's such a badass scene.
Yeah. Slow motion.
It's perfect fucking Magneto.
Yeah.
Magneto's the one character that's always been done perfectly.
Yeah. That's, to be truthfully honest, that's my favorite villain, by the way.
He's probably mine too.
Yeah. So is that all yours?
Those are my 5.
Do you have any?
Christopher?
You want me to go? Okay. So I have 6. Just because there's one of these that I know is going to piss off somebody in this room, but I decided I would throw one of mine out there too, just to kind of, show there's no hard feelings. We'll get to that later. So the first one, I don't know if you guys saw this movie, but Chloe Moretz as Carrie.
Yes. Terrible.
This doesn't make sense for a lot of reasons. So I don't think I'm, dropping any news bombs here. Chloe Moretz is hot. Okay. Yes. She as Carrie makes no sense whatsoever. She's the hottest girl in that fucking school, and they're making her out to be a geek just because her hair is frizzled or because she wears outdated clothes. Makes no sense. And even more, she can't dramatically act, like not to the level that Carrie requires.
Yeah.
So her compared to Sissy Spacek, it's a huge step down.
Yeah. That movie was bad.
Yeah. Guy Pearce as Wayland in Prometheus. So this was the old man who only appeared for 2 scenes in Prometheus, but he was given such horrible makeup and prosthetic work that you couldn't recognize Guy Pearce anyway. So why wouldn't you just cast an old person in this role to begin with? Like, why does it have to be Guy Pearce?
I'm trying to even think about
he's the guy in control of Wayland Industries. He's the CEO or whatever.
He's like dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he comes in
I didn't
a
even know that was
hologram.
Guy Pearce.
Yeah, that's the point. So why would you cast an actor like Guy Pearce when you could just use any random old guy on the street?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the makeup's horrible, so there's no point. All of it is just wasted budget.
Quick question before you go to the next one.
Sure.
Do you like Prometheus?
Yes.
Me too.
I've grown to like it.
It gets so much shit. I fucking love Prometheus. I think it's so good and underrated.
It's an 8 out of 10 for me.
Yes.
The first time I saw it, I think I gave it a 6. But I didn't understand the bigger picture behind it. Like there's a lot of even religious themes behind that movie that are really hidden at first. And then you come to understand them once you see the imagery and once you know the folklore behind it all.
And then they butchered it with that alien that came afterwards. I don't remember what those called. It was terrible.
Yeah. Alien Covenant and Alien
Revenant or something.
Yeah,
maybe
something like that.
Not good.
What's that?
No, anyway,
so the next one, I'm not pulling any punches. Topher Grace's Venom is fucking horrible.
Jeez.
It's terrible.
Yeah. That's a good one.
In a movie that's pure shit to begin with, he is the worst thing in that movie, bar none. I don't mind Sandman. I don't mind anything. I think the story, the payoff between James Franco's character and Tobey Maguire, I think it's solid. Like it builds over 3 movies, their friendship deteriorating, and it pays off in that movie pretty solidly. But Venom is terrible. It's the character that everybody was waiting for, and that's the payoff. It's so overdone, over the top, so on the nose, and Topher Grace couldn't be menacing if he had a machine gun in your face.
He's nothing like Eddie Brock either. Like
No.
because he is the Eddie Brock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Eddie Brock is supposed to be kind of like a badass, like I'm full of myself, like super, macho meathead type of dude.
He's a
How
news
the fuck
geek.
is Topher Grace going to do that? And at that point, nobody knew him about anything except for that 70s show.
Yeah.
So you've got Eric Foreman coming in here to be fucking Venom.
Yeah.
And then Venom was skinny on top of it. It was lame.
Yeah, I didn't agree with it
That's
at
a
all.
great choice.
That's probably the one I'm the most angry about of everybody on this list for sure.
Yeah.
Next one, Russell Crowe and Les Miserables.
Another fantastic.
This is purely just based on singing, though. I hate Russell Crowe's singing.
Amanda Seyfried as
I can't remember the characters.
God damn it. That's my favorite musical too. I'm just drawing a blank. Cosette.
Yeah.
Terrible. She sounds like a mouse.
Yeah. Like the singing in that movie, I'm like,
It's Amanda Seyfried.
Can't even do it.
I appreciate authenticity, the fact that they didn't bring somebody in to sing for them. But to me, oh my God, Russell Crowe is so horrible.
They tried to bring people in with musical backgrounds, but he's like a metal singer.
Yeah.
Like he's all like growl and shit.
He can't do operatic music. So,
and that's a huge part too. Like for him to be Javert is a big deal.
Yeah. 2 more for me.
You're just killing me. Those are great.
I never seen that movie.
Oh, Les Miserables is fantastic, bro.
2 more for me. I'm going to apologize to you first of all.
Pal.
But Scarlett Johansson as Motoko in Ghost in the Shell is not only bad, it's complete.
You guys just don't like Scarlett.
No, I like Scarlett Johansson. This is inappropriate though. It's whitewashing.
Yeah.
The character is Asian, and that's my next one I pick is the same way, same problem. But she's a known Asian character, and for her to be in this role, it completely took people out. I don't think it's a terrible movie. It's just compared to its animated counterpart, completely weak and underdone.
She's not good at acting.
My final one. This is the one I threw in as kind of like the compromise. My number 2, Emma Stone as Ga in Aloha. She's playing an Asian character.
Oh yeah.
She is an Asian character, and they cast Emma Stone in this role. This is not only laughable, it's downright insulting. And for Cameron Crowe, of all people, an accomplished director, he cast Bradley Cooper in this movie. It's got a stellar cast, but it flies off the rails fast, and it starts with this casting when you learn that her character is Asian, and not of Asian descent. She's Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
one.
second part of my question was
God.
Roles where they're cast inappropriately based on race or gender.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Mhm.
You've got Leto in Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh yeah.
Why
What's
not?
he supposed to be in that?
He's a transvestite.
He acts as a transvestite. It's like
And he won an Oscar for it.
Yeah, I mean, did you not give someone that actually is the opportunity to play that role? Or
That was a big controversy.
Jake
that year.
Gyllenhaal in a movie is the same thing. He
Prince of Persia.
yes,
Yeah.
and it's just,
That one is a big one because that's he's Persian.
Yeah, I mean, there's there.
In case you guys didn't know.
Yeah, there's several like that where I don't know if we would run into that issue today. Things that you think when these movies came out, we weren't going through the same things we're going through now. It doesn't mean it was okay at the time.
You talking PC wise?
We weren't as aware
Yeah.
of, we weren't as aware in the media and stuff as it being such a contextual issue.
Sure.
Whereas I don't think that I think we would be more, I think people would be more careful of making sure we're casting the appropriate people in the roles now. Then what?
So I'm just Googling like whitewashed,
Oh gosh.
like whatever. Have you ever seen A Mighty Heart?
I know it's that it's kind of like a musical.
Angelina Jolie is in it and she's mixed and she's got the whole like mixed hair, like spray tan and everything. That's pretty freaking crazy.
Go up.
Like that's basically blackface.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
That complexion.
Yeah,
Like,
that's bad. But I feel like there's several like that. But again, I don't know if we'll run into that in the future. But I know off the bat, the Gyllenhaal. I think
Johnny Depp was Tonto.
Yeah. That's another one.
Oh god.
You know, but here's the thing: we all watched that, and I bet we didn't think a second thing of it because it wasn't something that we talked about openly as it being a concern or an issue.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I just think it shows that we weren't. I think it just shows how dense we are, or naive or ignorant we were to issues that were going on, and now people are more willing to openly talk about it or stick up for themselves or realize that it's probably an issue.
I think that's why people get angry when it comes to so there's so much wokeness going on right now. People are angry by it because they have to admit that they themselves had a problem to begin with.
Absolutely.
And that's tough for some people to do.
I don't think, I mean, speaking for myself personally, I don't think it was never like because I didn't care or because it was like I was racist. I just didn't think of it being, you don't think that it's an issue.
Yeah.
That shirt that I just got that says the privilege one that I got, thinking something is an issue because it doesn't affect you. I watched fucking Johnny Depp play a freaking Indian and Native American, and I didn't think anything of it. It didn't offend me. I think 99% of people did. And I'd honestly I'd be curious to see how many Native Americans came out and said it was an issue then. Honestly.
I think he did get a lot of shit for that.
I remember there was some buzz.
Is it a tell of the times now, or is it because things have become so open and people are talking about everything that now it's just so much more vocalized?
Everything's microscopic.
Yeah,
now.
not saying it was okay.
Yeah.
But did we not make a big deal of it because it wasn't a big deal? Or did they not make a big deal of it because just the time that it was done?
I think it just depends on because so for instance, one of them that was on here was Carey Mulligan in Drive. Apparently the book, she's Latina.
Okay.
Oh.
For me, if you're making a movie based off of the book,
as long as they don't cast the character as a Latina in it and then give it. If
it's not a key portion of who that character is.
Right.
Like a lot of people were pissed off in the Harry Potter books that Lavender Brown was originally made as a black girl because her name was Brown, and then they changed it later and they were like pissed about that. Which I didn't think was a big deal because it's not clear in the books. So it's like, whatever. But like Rooney Mara in Pan, she played Tiger Lily.
Oh yeah. God, I forgot about that.
And that really sticks out to me because that is not the source material.
She's as white as China, man.
Right.
Good God.
Jeez.
Ghost in the Shell's on here. Tilda Swinton in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
She should be Asian. The ancient one is Asian in all of the source material.
Is Alien listed on there?
But she's fantastic in the role.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah. I feel like there was a situation with Alien. They cast a white woman, but her role they try and like make her Latino, kind of like the Angelina Jolie.
I don't know.
An Alien? It wasn't Sigourney Weaver, right?
No, it's the God, it's been a while. It's the one chick that she's got the bandana on, real close cut butt, like shorter cut hair. I'll have to pull it up. I don't remember. I could have sworn I remember seeing something about that at one point.
But like one of them is Tom Cruise in Edge of Tomorrow because it's based off of a Japanese like novel.
Where I don't have a problem with that is like you said though, like so if it's established that he's English or American in the movie, like we're going a completely different route with the character. I'm fine with that. Like, but what I was talking about, so like Scarlett Johansson and Emma Stone, they're Japanese characters in the movie. Like,
and this is my thing is like even if it's not, like I don't care. Like they even say that Tilda Swinton is of Celtic origin in Doctor Strange, so they like completely changed that. I don't necessarily think that's okay because the vast majority of source material says that the Ancient One is Asian. So like when they talked about Idris Elba being James Bond, I had a problem with that.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that.
And it's because the vast majority of source material says that he's a British, blonde-haired, blue-eyed dude. I don't like changing race for the sake of changing race. I also don't like whitewashing, though. Like, Prince of Persia shouldn't be a white dude.
Yeah, right.
Like,
absolutely not.
But like, if they ever did a remake of, I don't even know. If they did a remake of Edge of Tomorrow and they made it all Asian, I wouldn't have a problem with that. If they did a remake of The Raid, and they were like, let's do it with an American budget and really try to top it. And it wouldn't be as good because The Raid was amazing.
Rick Mansion sucked.
Yeah. But if they did it though, and they called it The Raid, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a ton of source material behind it or if that was an original movie, but it's not a movie where it has to be Asian. If they wanted to make it a different type of fighting or something or an urban version or something, I got no problem.
I doubt you're going to reach the heights of the creativity of those originals.
It's never going to be as good. But that's my point though, is like, you could do something like that. I don't want them to have a black Sherlock Holmes or an Asian Sherlock Holmes. Like when they did the Sherlock Holmes with what's her name?
Millie Bobby Brown.
No, not that one. There's one, it's like a TV show on CBS with some Asian actress. I do not know her name right now, but she played, I think it's called Holmes.
Oh.
Or it's called Holmes because Sherlock is the one with Cumberbatch.
Okay.
And it's like a TV show, but
Cumberbatch is great.
Cumberbatch is great, but she's like some Asian chick who is like a modern version of Holmes. And it's like, why? It's Sherlock Holmes for one. It's not a woman and it's not an Asian woman. It's a British man. Right. That's who he's been for hundreds of years. Why are we changing it?
So by contrast, that's why you would be okay with Enola Holmes, Millie Bobby Brown, because it's a different character altogether. It's
100%
Enola
different
Holmes.
character.
Yeah.
And that's why I also didn't care that the Little Mermaid was black because it's a fictional character. And people are like, well, it's a German story. It doesn't matter. It's a fucking mermaid. It can be whatever color it wants. It probably looks like fish if we ever found one in real life. So whatever. But if it's a historically accurate representation, like Jesus shouldn't have been white in the fucking Passion of the Christ. Shouldn't have been a white dude. You got the entire movie being said in Hebrew.
Maybe that should have been your number one.
Well, you know.
How come? I mean, that's a whole big one. We don't want to go down that route.
Yeah,
that's not.
But like, that's a whole movie that they're trying to make like as authentic and accurate as possible, and show what he actually went through and all this other stuff. And they even go so far as to not speak in English and all this other stuff. But you're going to use a bunch of white actors. Stupid.
Yeah, because everyone believes that guy's white.
Right. Jesus looked more like Osama bin Laden than he did the dude above your mantle.
Yeah. He doesn't look like Kenny G.
They'll never change it though. What I was talking about is the girl that plays Vasquez in Aliens. It's a Latino girl, and they legit like make this white woman look. They try to make her look Latino.
God, who is that?
It's Jeanette Goldstein.
Oh my God, yeah, she's Jewish, dude. She's a Jewish. Yeah,
that's a super white woman in real life.
God, man, that's horrible.
Yeah, like that's bad.
Aliens 2 of all movie, man.
Yeah, that's bad. But that's so old.
Yeah. You don't think about
action figures, man.
I don't think it's a product of, but here's my thing in the casting. I don't, either way, it's wrong. Like, I don't think it's a product of.
If you got to darken somebody's skin, then you miscast.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At the end of the day,
especially for something like that. Like,
yeah.
How hard is it? Like, to go back to the Dallas Buyers Club, like, how many Oscar-worthy transgender actors and actresses are available to even be pulled from in that pool? How many of them are in the acting pool? So I don't have as big of a problem with that. But there are a lot of Latino, Black, Asian actors out there that you can use like at any given moment.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because almost predictably, once Jared Leto won that Oscar, the hate for it died down. You know, it was like, well, he won the biggest honor in all of movies. I'm like, well, we can't really do better than that. That is the best.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest no-no is when it's race related. You know, if you're trying to portray yourself as another race and you're clearly not of that race, that's just an insult at that point.
I don't think that representation always has to be from the group of that's being represented, though, necessarily. Like, I think that there are times where it needs to be for sure, but I don't necessarily think that it always has to be.
Brings up a very good question.
I mean, look at like What's Eating Gilbert Grape or Forrest Gump. Do you have to get a mentally challenged person to play those characters in order for it to be fantastic?
We talked about that in
but then in the same breath,
autistic-based movie. I can't remember what it was,
but then in the same breath, the Peanut Butter Falcon movie is fantastic because they went that
authenticity.
route. And it's authentic and it's heartfelt and it's everything else. But in the same breath, do people look in the 90s at people with like, you know, mental retardation or whatever the phrase is nowadays without Forrest Gump?
I don't know what are you mentally handicapped?
Mentally challenged.
Yep. To be politically correct. I don't know.
Yeah. We just say low usually at the school because that's just whatever. But
we say it like I am the guardian. My stepbrother is mentally challenged and physically handicapped too. So always in the meetings, those are the terms we use.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, but mentally challenged people, do they get the same?
I think it's person with.
Do they?
It's supposed to be people first is what we're supposed to, is the political response. That's what they call it. It's supposed to be like a person with handicap, not a handicapped person. Just
a person with
mental
challenges.
I guess
I'll throw one more out there. Developmentally disabled.
Yeah,
there you go.
I just remember.
Regardless,
we're supposed to be a people.
Would they be looked at
like
in the 90s?
Anything politically correct on this show?
Yeah,
like I think Forrest Gump breaks a barrier to a point.
Yeah,
and it's not realistic in all aspects. Like it's a way over the top movie and everything else, but like it's just representation that leads to positivity. I think. I don't think that it's wrong for him to have taken that role. I don't know.
In positivity, do you mean like awareness?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what was your question?
So that reminded me of something. I think I was going to have it on last week's show and I forgot because we didn't do the show. But so, and when you were saying that, as far as representation, not having to necessarily be that person, as long as it's portrayed appropriately and done the right way. I saw an article about an Asian woman who wrote a short film, a short movie, and it was about the struggle of African Americans, and it was based around an African American that got pulled over, and it's getting a lot of notoriety. It's getting a lot of attention right now because apparently she got picked up. Like Netflix stole her story basically. Mm-hmm. And that's why it got put into the spotlight. But my question is, it's getting hate because some people are saying that, well, you shouldn't be trying to write a movie about Black struggle when you don't live that life. Do you think that's appropriate?
Right. No, I don't think that's right at all.
Yeah. Well, so, hold on. What's your answer?
If I'm a famous movie maker from Akron and something tragic happens to a member of our community, a Black person in our community, and I want to make a movie to talk about their story, I think I should be able to do that.
And I live in a Black neighborhood. It's like, I mean, it's obvious we're the only white folks on the block. It's obvious.
I thought that was a weird take. I thought it was a weird take that they said that unless you're Black, you shouldn't be able to tell the story of a Black person. I'm like, I feel like, I don't want to say you should feel honored. That's an overstep, but like, they're wanting to tell your story and make it public and let it be known, and hopefully something comes of it. And they're saying, well, you're just trying to, you're utilizing their struggle to get yourself notoriety.
I don't agree with that. Like, that's raising awareness.
Reminds me of that Aziz Ansari joke. He was like, every time I go into an interview now, people are just like, hey, I bet you're real excited about that Slumdog Millionaire stuff. He's like, and I'm just like, you know, do white people do that for every movie? Like, hell yeah, Godfather, that's us. Shawshank Redemption, that's us. You know, Departed, that's us. Titanic, that's us.
I just feel like that's such a weird take. I feel like those are the sort of things that just kind of keep racism alive. Like, I just want to tell a story, a meaningful story about something that I'm familiar with, or raise awareness through my art form of writing and directing movies.
I just found
I
out.
don't know what's wrong with that.
I just found out like this week or maybe a week before or something. But the guy who plays Walter Jr. in Breaking Bad actually has cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
That doesn't make it any more impressive to me though. Like,
Great movie.
he's a great actor.
Show, I mean.
I thought that he was a normal, like a non-disabled person that was acting in that role.
Yeah.
And I always liked his character. I thought he was pretty good. And now that I know this, I still like his character. It's not like I'm like, well, pin a star on him. He's so successful. Like, I feel like that's just like pandering, and I would be super pissed if somebody did that to me.
I thought he was.
What the fuck was that?
Instagram. I thought he was I thought he was true to the role. Like I thought he was handicapped or whatever.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Authenticity.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. And obviously there's always going to be some people that just want to like
shit for the sake of shitting.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm pleased. This small time movie maker is not the first person that told somebody else's story. Like,
I don't always think that every time something gets changed that the intention is we need to get a white guy.
Right.
Like I think that it's okay, we need to get the best actor that we can get in here. And if you look at all of the actors, it's a huge pool of white people, just like the population of the major acting areas, which is America and Europe. So odds are we're going to get ourselves a white guy.
And what's the parallel to that? So black actors can't do white stories? Like what's the parallel? Where's the limit?
Yeah. It has to go both ways.
Right.
If you want to be fair to what you're saying, then that, it would mean that a person of color shouldn't tell a white person's story, or
I couldn't care less.
Yeah, it doesn't. My whole thing is at the end of the day, and it's the hot take, but give the role to whoever the best person is for the role.
Yeah.
And that's in anything. That's in your job, a sport, whatever it is. As long as everyone of any nationality or sex is getting an opportunity at interviewing or whatever, the job should go to whoever's the best person for the job.
We have a lot of representation now too. Like, is it as good as it could be? No. But is it ever going to be equal?
No.
Statistically, no.
Can't.
But we've got shows like that have people of minority people that are, you've got Crazy Rich Asians, which is super popular. And you've got, there was a cooking show that was like salt, fat, acid, sweet, or something like that. But that chick was like Middle Eastern, I think, or something like that. She was really good. And it's like, you've got these shows that are representing people that are minorities with huge followings. You've got a ton more African-American led movies that are coming out now. You have a lot bigger of an Asian presence in movies lately that I've been noticing.
Farewell.
And it's just like, this stuff is coming up, and it's not just like pandering movies. The stuff is good.
Yeah.
So we've got people like Jordan Peele, who I think really started to break that barrier a lot more with just new types of stories. It wasn't all slavery or gangster or whatever. Like, he broke it down and started new stuff, and you've got shows coming out. The fucking most white fucking thing in the world. The what's it called? Cthulhu, dude. Oh God, it's gonna drive me nuts. All black cast, and it's like the guy who wrote all of the Cthulhu books and all that other shit. It's like a monster sci-fi thing. It's on HBO. Lovecraft Country. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. HP.
Yeah. HP Lovecraft. And I think they did this on purpose, was like notoriously racist. But like,
what a piece of shit that guy was.
Yeah. But like, those stories are not stories that you're going to find in the African-American community.
Yeah.
Right? But they took that, they made it an entirely black cast. The show, it wasn't great to me, but I know a lot of people that liked it. And like, it's just, there's progress.
Yeah. That's the thing. It is progress. It's going to take time. Sadly, because racism was such a big deal, that there wasn't many people of color getting into acting or in movies. And now that it's becoming, that we're acknowledging those issues and things, representation is happening, but it's going to take time to build up to that, because it was held back for so long. People were held back from being involved in those things for so long that it's not like overnight it's just going to be like an equal thing. It's going to take time for people that were offended or didn't want to participate because of racism to come out and be willing to or want to be involved, because they've been held back and they have grudges or they are upset because of the way that they were treated. So, but to Jesse's point, I feel like progression has been made. Yeah. It's going to take time.
Otherwise we wouldn't be having these directors that he talks of, you know?
Yep. People just have to be willing to accept it and continue to push forward. I think things like this stupid argument over like, don't tell my story. I think that just hurts more than anything. I don't think that that's benefiting anybody. You know, if they were trying to tell a story negatively or it was misrepresentation, okay. You know, but it seemed like it was supposed to be truth. It was a good enough story or byline that like Netflix picked it up and is going to turn it into something.
Yeah.
You know, so anyhow, I think that's all we got. Anything else you guys got for the good of the show?
Nope.
No. All right. Well, hopefully we don't go 2 weeks without seeing y'all or talking to you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. That is Made to Motivate podcast. Make sure you tune into the show every week. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube so you know when the new videos launch. And check out our pages individually if you can. We appreciate the support. At Jesse Unk SI on Twitter. Chris the Film Freak Kessinger. Check out the Film Freak review page on Facebook. And I am Ryan Weiss. You can check out rockeverywhereinc.etsy.com to follow my art and apparel page. We appreciate the support. And, of course, at Made to Motivate podcast on all social media sites. Thanks again, and we'll check you next week.